The ClevelandMoto podcast, episode number 519. Light 'em up, boys. Or just tinkle your glasses if you have glasses that tinkle.
Tinkle, tinkle.
I got a very tinkly glass tonight. Once again, I'm on the Shanky's Whip. Again,
the whip.
Perfect beverage for the ClevelandMoto podcast. I'm a huge fan. To my immediately left, we have
Dan Kroenke.
Dan, what are you drinking tonight?
Hard cider from Market Garden.
And what are you riding tonight?
My Tiger 660.
Tiger
I wanted to bring the R90, but I rode it into the ground yesterday, and it started running for shit again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something's going on.
I went to my shop, and I bought an R90 from your friend Dan. Mm-hmm. And so I bought an R90, a white R90, and it was an interesting game of horse trading that went down. And I bought it because it's got the bags on it already. I always like the looks of those, and it's in white, which is my favorite color for an R90. And I haven't touched it. I parked that thing last year in October-ish. I parked it in the warehouse. I put a tank of ethanol-free gas in it. I sprayed the top of the gas tank down with some WD-40, just give it a quick shot, put it on the battery tender, and said, it's going to be a while. And it's been a year, almost. And I went out there as I was moving some bikes in and out of the warehouse, and I walked up to the thing. I turned the taps on, pulled the choke, hit the start button, and I'm joking. Dugga, boom, 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 boom. And it just went boom, boom, boom. And it's like, oh, you want to go ride? Look at you. And then it proceeded to piss out the left carburetor at a rate I haven't seen around here in a very long time.
As they will.
As they will. So I decided not to take it out for a ride.
Bing's a bit sticky.
Something's a bit sticky, exactly. And to his left we have...
Steve Sleepy.
Mr. Sleepy Cinch. What did you ride tonight?
My newly covered BMW.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It looks a little less like whatever that other one was.
It looks... you have fucking knocked the boring right off of that motorcycle.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
It's clean.
That is nice.
I'm learning a lot about rapping.
You are learning about rapping.
Well, apparently it's kind of like a line form where a phrase follows phrase to the beat.
It looks nice. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
All he did was read a Russell Simmons book, and he's ready to go. That's it. And then what you drinking tonight?
Crescent 9 seltzer.
Okay, around the top of the can, there's no amount that you can rotate that can where I cannot read the words highly potent at the top. It is literally marked in three directions, highly potent.
After 6, they get bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says highly potent 3 times on the very top of the can.
It does. There's a number on it, too. But
is there a number?
That's only 50 milligrams.
The number is some special drug addiction center that you should call in case you have a problem.
There's a 1-800 number on the bottom of the can.
The funny part is I did send the company an email because they said something like, how's everybody enjoying their shit? And I said, well... I'm like, I wish they'd make them stronger because I have like 5 or 6 during our podcast, and the dude was like,
God.
Can you call us?
Do you know how phones work?
Yeah.
Because you have a podcast or a problem?
No, I think
the answer is no. I can't operate a phone right now.
Sorry, buddy. Yep. Sorry, can't do that. That looks like a very terrifying fucking can right there. If I have to give you my honest opinion,
it's just a little.
It looks scary. And to his left,
Johnny Mac.
And Johnny Mac, what did you ride tonight?
I rode the Intruder.
The Intruder. We're gonna talk a little bit about Intruders later on. And what are you drinking tonight, Johnny?
I'm starting off with a Lean & Kugel's Summer Shandy.
Summer Shandy, and we're getting into that late phase of summer. To his left.
Speedy Pete.
I thought I'd knock this one off before we got into winter.
Right, a good idea. Make sure there's none
skip right over
hanging around.
Oktoberfest
No
beers?
pumpkin spice for John.
I already had pumpkin last week. So
Yeah, just go with the Oktoberfest, though.
I get some Brooklyn Post Road.
And then, Pete, what did you ride here tonight?
I rode my Honda Monkey. It's my dependable scoot about town.
And it's the Monkey that has modified suspension.
Oh, yeah, it's ready to go.
It's a well-breathed-on Monkey.
Yeah, it's coming up on 10,000 miles.
And as me and Chris found out, an internationally loved motorcycle. Were you here last week? I don't remember.
Was I here? Yeah, I was here last week.
Okay. Yeah, because when Smith was saying it, when the Japanese people came in and said Honda Monkey, they were like,
Yeah.
Lost their
Monkey-san!
And then to his left,
Sean Noel.
Sean, what you drinking?
I am in my verse era here because I have in one hand a berry vodka-rita.
That is very berry vodka-rita.
And then in the other hand, some Shanky's Whip.
Sean is
You
getting
truly,
whipped.
you truly, sir,
Yeah, right?
are about to get whipped.
Split the diff.
Split the diff indeed. And what'd you ride here tonight?
My Vespa GTS 300.
The Super Sport.
The
Which,
Super Sport.
when you pulled in, I didn't know who it was because it doesn't sound like a Vespa anymore.
Oh, yeah, it's because it's got the fun pipe on it now.
Yeah, you
Yes.
pulled in Putin and Putin.
The Aero upgrade.
You put a fart pipe on it.
And behind the bar tonight, holding the fort down,
Tom Pennington.
Mr. Pennington. What did you ride here tonight?
Still the V85.
Still the V85.
So we've answered all the trivia questions now. So
Right, yeah. So the V85 that Tom is riding is the very rare 5-speed V85.
yeah.
And earlier we also have at the shop a very rare 5-speed Stornello.
Yeah, that guy is cursed.
He's fucking cursed. This guy can't keep sixth gear around.
No.
Yeah, this guy's met his entire life. This one customer has brought us 2 bikes, and neither one of them have sixth gear. And sixth gear is fucked almost identically in both
What
bikes.
was the other
But
bike?
is that one supposed to have a 6?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, that's
that's
the
what
joke.
I-
That's
Oh,
the
it
joke.
has one.
Oh.
You just can't access
Yeah.
it
Gotcha.
without
this
making
is-
really loud noises.
Right.
It's very angry.
Sixth is in there. It just
Well,
won't play along.
that was the thing. The Stornello, you rode for like a week,
Yep.
and the second he got on it, it was like, I don't have 6th gear
So
anymore.
this is what bothers me is that after we reconnected all the things he disconnected to make it better, we literally went in and reconnected all of it. And when we reconnected all of it and let the computer do its thing, and he paid the money to have a map, so we didn't want to go in and blow up his map. So we didn't write over his map. That's fine. The map's not a bad map. But we did have to reconnect the fucking Lambda sensors.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If you think that disconnecting the Lambda sensors on your motorcycle or your car is going to make it run better, don't. Whoever told you that shit, they're not there to help you. That is a bad move to do. Well, let's just disconnect them things and it'll be fine.
And let them hanging out in the air.
Literally
nonetheless.
left them dangling.
Yeah.
Left them dangling. We reconnected the Lambdas, reset the TPS, and I gently brought the bike back around to reprogram because a lot of these computers have what's called adaptive learning, and they will literally observe the way that you're running the bike, and they will make some alterations based on the way you're riding the bike. But if you're going to disconnect the battery for a while and you're going to do a TPS reset, then what you really should do is you should walk up to the bike, press the start button, and let the bike figure itself out. And you press the start button, you let it start, and it's going to be ragged as shit. Don't panic. Let it do its thing for about a minute or so. Shut it off. Go have a smoke, go have a sandwich, go have a drink, whatever. Come back, do the exact same game again. Turn the key on, press the start button, and let it figure itself out. Do that 3 or 4 or 5 times. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Then take the bike out for a ride. If you do that, you will overwrite the bad programming that's there from all the adaptive learning it was doing while the Lambdas were disconnected. What you're trying to do is you're trying to replace bad information with really good information and letting the bike find its own. Marshall Thompson says, my dad has a Stornello. The gearbox feels like it's mostly derived from a proper agricultural implement. How the fuck did he break that?
So
Good question.
I'm gonna say something, and Phil's
ahead.
witness to this as well.
Yeah.
Google V85 6th gear,
Right. Yeah, and stand back. Your computer's going to explode at you.
and after you get to the 4th page,
Right. Gucci had a bit of a problem with the first run of V85s that came out, where apparently they were allergic to oil at the factory. So somebody, instead of putting in like 0.7 of a liter of oil, put in like 70 cc's of oil. So these bikes all came out of the factory with not nearly enough oil in the transmission, not in the motor. Keep in mind, a Moto Guzzi's got 3 different holes you put oil in. It's got a motor hole,
So do I.
a motor hole, right? It's got a transmission hole, and it's got a final drive hole for back at the final drive of the motorcycle, which Guzzi and Italian companies will confuse you because they call the transmission, they actually call the final drive at the back of the motorcycle, they erroneously call it the transmission. The gearbox is the oil that's in the middle. So they were not putting enough oil or almost any oil in the gearboxes in the transmission. And that caused a lot of fucking problems. And I'm almost deadly certain that this bike is one of those bikes. Gucci won't admit to the problem necessarily, but they do sell a kit, Tom found.
Oh, yeah.
So how fucking hilarious is it? There's not a problem, but we made a kit.
Well, there's an entire retrofit kit. Which
Exactly.
I was like, all right, cool. What is this going to cost?
Right. Yeah.
And it's all been superseded.
What does the kit entail?
Second gear, sixth gear, all the dog, I think all the shift dogs.
Oh.
And then there was a change in the output shaft seal that you're also advised to change at the same time. Right.
Since you're there.
Since you're there.
So
Since you've literally broken your motorcycle in half to fix it, you might as well go ahead and fix this
Right.
too.
Oh,
the same...
Since you're there,
Right. Since you're there. No, the same cannot be said for the V7 Stornello, because in my entire time of V7s, and we're talking about like over 1,000 V7s, that I have never seen a V7 with an unattainable sixth gear.
weren't they mostly 5 gears
Well,
for
the
a long time?
V7 Mark 1s were 5 gears up until about 2015 or so, and then they
Okay.
switched over to Mark 2s, which then brought in the 6th speed in the transmission.
Good question.
Does this apply to the new V85? No, apparently the new
No,
V85 is they sorted this shit
they've
out
got it sorted.
4 years ago. Right?
Sorted out.
Yeah, so it's well sorted. But
The problem is this is what a 20
One?
or 21.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
real. Like it's a real
It's
early
real
number
early.
too.
yeah. Scott Dennis says, "Hey guys, missed the opener, but here with Mac and Coke. Ready for the KLR talk? Mac and Coke. So this is, and I will say that once you know that the V85 sixth gear problem exists, now if you had a dealer that caught it in the first, like right off the bat, and you didn't drive the bike, and you got the oil put up to the right levels when you only had a couple hundred miles on the bike, you're probably going to be okay. But if you put 10,000 miles on the bike with not nearly enough oil in it, then you're probably not okay. You're probably totally rat fucked. So the funny thing was, Tom had done, you'd relambed it.
Yep.
You'd corrected all those issues.
Yep.
You'd done the clutch lubrication on the pivot arm for the clutch actuator. You'd done all the things that we know to do. Readjusted the clutch, sent it out, and I rode the bike for about a week. And when I tell you that I was not kind to this bike, because I wanted to make sure that the bike could do the things it needed to do. So I rode it in the way that I tend to ride bikes, which is like, I'm not being unnecessarily abusive to the bike, but I am getting everything it's got out of it. And I didn't have a problem with it. Hilariously, it responds to a firm hand. He does not have a firm hand. So when he got on the bike and pussyfooted around with it, and that's the best possible term I can come up with it, he goes out, rides the bike, and he doesn't get sixth gear. Now I've ridden this thing back and forth to work at 100 plus miles an hour using all of the sixth gear, multiple occasions. He tries it, no bueno. So yeah, sometimes two different people ride bikes in different ways and you get different reactions by the motorcycle. So he went out and rode it. Then I went out and rode it after he rode it. Nope, not good anymore. So, so we got to do a sixth gear in a Stornello now, to be more correct.
What year is that?
2016.
Same-ish.
Okay.
Oh,
16.
older.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a brand new
No,
one.
it's a 16.
Oh no, these are 10 plus years old. I contacted Piaggio and they were like,
Why are you
well,
calling us about old
what are
bikes?
you doing?
Right. Yeah, good luck.
Motohop has a good question. What
Yep.
is the service interval for gearbox oil?
Okay, good question. So there's opinions and then there's oil analysis. In a motorcycle, it has 3 different oils. You have your oil that sees heat. That's your motor oil. Your motor oil sees heat. Your motor oil will tend to be, and we're going to work in the extremes here. It'll be somewhere in Kromke's brand new Vespa, 0W30 to probably a 10W50. Or if your motorcycle is a giant V twin, Harley-Davidson, 20W50. Or if it's an ambiguously curious V twin, it could have 10W60.
This 0W30. Tell me exactly what that means. I mean, is that it's 0 at room temperature?
At room temperature,
and when it warms
cold
up,
weather.
it goes up to 30. Okay.
So W actually stands for winter.
Yep.
Right.
Right. Yeah, in that thing, it's not W doesn't stand for weight; it stands for winter.
Right.
So, the idea would be that in the cold environments, it's zero weight, meaning the motor starts very easily because the oil is as thin as water. Right.
Well, exactly, because it's related to water. Water is also zero, and then 30 weight or 30 what we call 30 weight oil is 30 times more viscous than water.
Exactly.
Why is it so important to have water in your motor when you start it up the first time? Like, just so it flows and gets through everything really quickly? And then,
so it can go to the dangerous spots. So as we know, the most dangerous spot in an overhead cam motor are the cams. Right?
But the problem, too, though, is it's getting there quickly, but what's getting there is water.
Yeah, but like, so as my old motor in the Dodge, so that was the whole point, is that the oil that they recommended in the colder days was not getting up to the heads, and the lifters weren't filling up, and then they throw rocker arms. So when I got it to work, and it actually drove to Mid-Ohio a couple years ago on the old motor, that's because I filled it with OW40 or whatever, like the new trucks did it. And so then at that point, when I started it, it shot right up and it kept the lifters going.
That's the joke about filling Miatas full of kerosene when they start rattling. No, it's true. You fill it full of kerosene, drive it around the block once, bring it back, shut it off, drain it, fill it back up with regular oil in your oil change. And it clears out the hydraulic lifter. They've joked about this for ages, and I was like, no way.
Wow.
Wait,
And
what do
then
you fill it in? ATF?
You literally put
Kerosene.
into the engine.
Oh.
You can use ATF. ATF's a little
ATF
too
works
thick,
too.
but kerosene's perfect.
Or diesel, probably, or something. Whatever.
But you put like a cup or something full, and not like fill up the whole motor full of kerosene, but you put a cup in it, and it thins the oil out so much it clears out the crud.
On every vintage engine that I would rescue from a guy's garage that had sat for 20 years or whatever, and I'm going to go way back in time to say motors that have slingers, right? So the oil filtration system is a centrifuge that doesn't rely so much on a paper element filter or multi-layer filter. It relies on centrifuge. And when I tear those apart and you find that they're all full of crap and, dead dinosaurs.
Debris.
And you clean them all perfectly out, keep in mind that the little tiny passageways that go to the top of the motor are also full of that shit. So what I would do is when I got a motor all together and I was happy with it, like it's time for its first start in what might be 25 or 30 years, I'd fill the crankcase with kerosene. So I fill the crankcase with kerosene and get the thing started on starting fluid, which has top-end lube built into it. By using starting fluid instead of relying on the carburetors to run it, I know for a fact I'm essentially two-stroking the vehicle by giving it the lube it needs on the top end. So even if the lube doesn't make it up the tubes to get to where the lube needs to be, I'm providing it with its own lube in the form of the top-end lubricant that is in most starting fluids. As wild as it seems, starting the motor on starting fluid, it is actually incredibly safe because it has the lubrication built in. So that would be my system for starting up a motor that's 30 years old or 40 years old. Hasn't run for a very, very long time. You run it that way, and I would just get the thing up to operating temperature on the kerosene. No load. I'm not trying to use the kerosene to lubricate the clutch or anything that oil would have to be there for.
Just normal idling.
Just basic idling. A little revvy here to get the pressure up.
Moving, yeah.
And then what I'm going to do is on Honda motors, I'm going to take the little peepers off where the valve adjusters are, and I'm going to make sure that we have oil coming up to the top where the valve adjusters are. Oil, in this case, kerosene, right? Which is actually really easy to spot. If I have that cycle going on, I know that the kerosene is doing its job and it's cleaning out all that shit that made it past the slinger. Unfortunately, a lot of people that have motorcycles that have slingers equipped think that the thing doesn't have a filter, or they think that the slinger works forever, and they don't know how you clean it out or that you can clean it out. So invariably, when I use the kerosene trick, I'm always shocked at how much crap comes out of the motor after I run a couple of heat cycles on it with the kerosene, and then I drain the kerosene, and it's literally full of what looks like somebody cleaned it out of the bottom of their wood-burning stove.
Well, it's clutch material.
Everything.
It's bicarbon, all kinds of shit.
And it's all good stuff to not have in your motor anymore.
Correct, yeah.
So everything that you see in that kerosene when you drain it out, good job. That's not in there blocking your oil passageways anymore. Then after that, I'll switch to whatever the manufacturer's recommended sauce is before I take it out for real test rides, for real running. Because kerosene does not... it's not what clutches crave, right? Yeah, it's not what clutches need. So go ahead.
Our listeners are just they're nailing us with questions, and
Good.
This is another good one. So Marshall Thompson asked, "What's the break-in? I'd be for a gearbox. I'd be surprised if the initial break-in in service wasn't supposed to include checking levels of the gearbox oil, etc."
Right.
So yeah, that is good. Like I've never had a brand new shaft-driven bike. So what is the procedure there?
So back to his original question. Sorry, while I slaughtered this bratwurst.
Num.
So delicious. But anyway, if we're talking about a motorcycle like a Harley, we're talking about a motorcycle Moto Guzzi that has 3 different oils in it. Keep in mind the boom boom oil, the oil that is subject to fire and heat. That oil, yeah, you better fucking change that oil, right? Because one, the factory probably sent it out with something that I like to describe as less than. Okay? The factory may have sent it out with, what do we know about Chinese oil? Don't trust it, right? Well, even not Chinese bikes will put a grade of oil in the motorcycle from the factory that they will call break-in oil, and in your owner's manual it will say first service 600 to 1,000 miles. Good. That oil should be changed 600 to 1,000 miles. Absolutely, positively, get that shit out of there. Now let's talk about your gearbox. Now in Japanese motorcycles are unit constructed engine motors, UCE. The gearbox oil and the motor oil are the same oil. Yes, it should be changed at 600 to 1,000 miles for all the previously stated reasons. Yes. Now, but if your motorcycle has a middle oil, if it's a Harley-Davidson or a Moto Guzzi, BMW too. BMW has transmission oil, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
Mine does.
Yeah, yours does. I know mine does. I don't want to make a blanket statement because new BMWs run 1 oil, but old Airheads and stuff run 2 oils. So when you have a transmission oil, I always say, go ahead and change it at your first service, 600 to 1,000. Why? It's not that expensive. There's usually 1 quart of it, so it's not a bad thing to change. That oil will usually be something more weird, like 75/140, okay? Or 80W90, right? I'm not going to go deep into the weeds on viscosities as they relate to combustion versus viscosities as they relate to transmission oil or hydraulic jack oil, because that's a rabbit hole for fucking Bob the oil guy, right? They're different, trust me. But transmission oil can be advertised as 30 weight oil by one company, and it will be advertised as 80W90 by another company, based on its application, where the oil is going to be going, what kind of transmission it's going to go in.
Doesn't that run counter to what we just talked about? Like
Absolutely.
The weight of the oil is
It
actual
is
physical,
no longer, correct.
physical measurement of the viscosity.
Correct. When we're talking about viscosity in engine oils that are going to be by the bangs. So when the oil is going to be by the heat, the detonation, everything else, your statement is exactly right. The rule still is the same about 0 weight is water. 30 weight is 30 times the weight of water. And these ranges in these oils are based on a dead cold 0 degrees Frankenstein temperature versus a 260 degree running motor. Okay. So that's the difference between cold start and nominal operating running temperature of the motorcycle. Transmission, on the other hand, a transmission should never get that fucking hot. Okay? Because there's no bangs, right? It's not literally around where the fire's happening. So that's why you're going to see these numbers that are so much higher when you get to the middle of the motorcycle. Go ahead, Tom.
So here's the data behind your statement.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is the V85 travel.
Yep.
Maintenance intervals. Engine oil first is at 900. Second is at 6,200.
Right.
And then it goes up 12,400
for the motor oil.
And that's motor oil.
Motor
so it's
oil.
Still 6,000 recommended.
6,000 gap.
The gearbox, because as we found out, transmission is a gearbox. 18,600 is recommended gearbox interval. So these
service,
the Stornello
18,000 miles for the gearbox oil,
and that's not even recommended first service at 600, which I'm kind of a stickler for doing.
We are too. Yeah, exactly. So the point is that this manufacturer says that you don't need to look at your transmission oil for 3 services at 6,000 per service. Yeah. And my logic to that, when people are like, "Oh my God, that's insane," Harley guys are like, 3 hole oil change, man, 3 plug oil change, do them all. Do them all. It's fine. I get it. When was the last time you changed the oil in your grandfather clock? I bet you didn't even know it had it. Okay? The point being, in a low heat, low explosion, low shear environment, you don't need to change the oil that fucking frequently. For people who are V8 car guys, how frequently do you change your motor oil versus the oil in your pumpkin? If you like cars. Your axle lube,
every 3,000 miles and never.
Exactly. Right. And that's kind of the point.
When it starts to whine.
Right. And gearbox oil also, final drive oil, which in motorcycles, that's our pumpkin. That's our rear differential. Okay? Our rear differential oil, I have customers that come in and they're like, oh, I want my rear differential oil changed every 3,000 miles. Well, I don't know if you can look it up and find out what they recommend for the rear differential / final drive oil.
That's even higher, actually.
Right?
I will say.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I will say I did it for the Benz, actually.
Yeah.
At 25,000 miles, it looked like Hershey's chocolate syrup.
18.6.
18.6. So it's the same interval for the final drive as is the transmission. Or gearbox, I should say.
Think about what oil is doing inside your motor. It's a bearing. So it's an oil bearing, especially like in a motor that has plain bearings. So what that is the viscosity directly correlates with the thickness of the film of oil between the metal parts. The metal parts don't touch at all because there is a thin. So at zero viscosity, they're almost touching. At 90 or 80, there's actually a thick bearing, and they're not the gears are not touching each other technically in your gearbox when it's running, and that's why they do that. So 90 weight it's actually because you can't compress a fluid. So that little film of oil, when the gears are actually all the friction is in the oil. It actually increases friction, but it's all there's none of the friction is between the metal parts. It's all in the oil.
So it transfers the force, but not the friction.
Correct. So it's basically like hydraulically transfer the gears. It's a hydraulic transfer, so that they're. One is actually it's almost a hydro drive technically because
that's exactly how an oil pump works too. If
exactly.
You think about it, the gears spinning there.
Absolutely. That's why your grandfather, when he comes out and he's going to go on his ride on his BMW, that's why Grandpa says, I start the motor and then I put my gloves and my jacket and my helmet and everything on because he doesn't want to engage the clutch until the oil's up to operating temperature. And that's not bad advice. That's excellent advice. Because when you start, that oil is 0, 5, or 10 weight or 15 weight or whatever you got in there. It's thinner. Give the oil a chance to warm up. But more importantly, for the guys who are the inline 4 guys, give a chance for the oil to go to the places it needs to go. So whereas you might say...
Or get back from the places. Like with a CB750, you want to start it up and let it run for a minute because typically all the oil in the oil bag is sitting in the bottom of the motor where it's not supposed to be there.
Difference between a dry sump motor and a wet sump motor.
Yeah, you want to let it run for a while just to pump it all back to the oil bag so that it's not getting blow by.
To your braking oil, I'll give you a caveat though. Leave the braking oil in if you trust the manufacturer and you know it. Because say for like the Tao that I had, like I changed that immediately, and when I did, it smelled like peanut oil. Like it might have just been peanut oil inside of it. So like, if it's not a trusted bike, just go ahead and but that being said, put some really cheap fucking oil in it so that it actually does break in. Don't put some synthetic.
Well, and a lot of people do say there's a difference between breaking a motor in on dinosaur oil, mineral oil, or synthetic oils. And there's a lot of people will swear by this. Harley-Davidson did, in fact, this is Chris Smith calling in, by the way.
Of course it is.
Is he out of jail?
Jail.
So are you in jail, buddy?
Hi, this is Chris. I'm calling from Goshen, Indiana. I'm a longtime listener and a first-time caller.
Bing, 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 bing. Well, we loved hearing from you, Chris. How are things in Goshen, Indiana?
Jail.
Goshen, Indiana is really rocking.
What are you wearing?
Probably about 55 Janus owners show up tonight just for Thursday, whereas tomorrow, Friday, is the big ride day and evening downtown and things like that.
Chris, do they have EMS on standby for all those Janus potential wrecks happening?
I'm going to venture to say it's past all you guys' bedtimes.
You kid, but one of the things that Grant said was make sure that you hydrate and you eat, especially if you have blood sugar issues and stuff. We don't want to have to be calling EMS for somebody passing out because they haven't eaten or had anything to drink. So
remember your apple juice.
Make sure you take all your meds.
I am probably the youngest guy there by 22 years, I would say.
Well, I would guess that the early arrivals at the Janus rally, the true heroes that get there early at the Janus rally are the super mega, like triple X level Janus operators. So is this or is this not sponsored by Metamucil?
Yeah.
Oh no.
That and
Geritol.
EpiPen too. EpiPen has been throwing in some money on this one too.
You say
And the early arrivals started coming in a week and a half ago.
Yeah, it was usually at the Cushman rallies and stuff. They get there about a week early.
Chris is late to the early arrivals.
Yeah. So anyhow, I just want to let you know
tomorrow's
that
ride out is the Golden Corral.
I was talking to Richard and to Grant, and shout out to Steve Sleepy Cinch. They could not have been more pleased with the video that you did.
Cool.
And just so you know, I told them if they needed any additional videos or things like that they need to call you first and then call you last, because you've got the skill and you understand what they're trying to do. So you may be hearing from them at some point, because I talked about all your equipment and your background and all that kind of stuff. So.
Awesome. So tell us about you getting arrested today.
Well, I was coming through Ohio on Route 6, and somehow I got bungled around and got down onto Route 24, so I had to come back up through some county roads, which worked out okay, and I got onto Route 6 again, and I'm just cooking along, staying up with traffic and, trying to stay away from people, and a cop goes by the other way, and I don't give it a second thought. And, I look down at my speedometer and I'm, 68, 69, 70, something like that. And I look back in my rearview mirror. Well, there he is. I thought, holy shit. So anyhow, he comes up and he says, do you know how fast you're going? I said, yeah, I think I was going maybe 70. He says, do you know what the speed limit is out here? I said, yeah, like 65. He said, no, it's 55. I said, you're kidding me. Everybody's going faster than that. And he says, well, I'm going to have to give you a citation. So what am I going to say? I said, okay. So
should have said, well, you don't have to. I don't feel bad if you don't.
Right, yeah.
So when did you punch him?
So he was a nice guy, and I got a couple photos with him, and he gave me a little sticker for Killian, my 4-year-old grandson. So
let him try out the handcuffs.
And, he may have let me go, but it looked like he had somebody else sitting in the passenger seat with, mirror sunglasses on. So that may have been a supervisor. So he may have been on kind of a short leash today.
But I like that you got the ticket, and then you still were like, "Let me get some pictures with you, man. Come on over."
If the guy's gonna follow all the way through to give me the ticket, then I'm gonna get my money's worth out of the experience.
Yeah, exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, well, you already got to pay, so you might as well get some glamour shots.
It was good, and the California ran great. I took the California rather than the Janus just because it can go 70 miles an hour easily.
Wow, what an ambassador!
What an ambassador!
Yeah.
What an Eldorado!
Actually, I called Grant last night and said, you know what?
Did you ask for permission?
I did. and he said he didn't give a shit. Just show up. I said okay. So it was until this morning I had the Janus all packed up, and so this morning I thought, you know what? Fuck this. I like the California, and so.
And you didn't think you needed to take sand to the beach.
He didn't make it to the Moto Guzzi rally a couple weeks ago, so I figured he'd make his own.
I parked it in the back of their parking lot, so it didn't stick out so much. But I had 4 or 5 people come up and ask me, "What is this?"
You say it's the new Janus 1400?
Yeah.
I'll just put a sticker on it.
I was going to ask Chris.
That's the Halsey Ton.
Says,
The Halsey
What kind
Ton.
of bike is this? I said, it's a Moto Guzzi. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, so at least that's funny that you can be somehow you've managed to be exotic among the Jani. So you figured out a way that among the Jani to become exotic.
He's at a rally of old men who have never heard of Moto Guzzi.
So, Chris, if Yami Noob shows up, tell him we said hi.
Yeah.
Ask him what's shaking.
If there's a person there that looks like they're under 50, let us know.
Okay,
Now,
I will.
Now I did, and not all kidding aside, these guys are having a lot of fun with this. But when we do our Vespa rallies, our motor scooter rallies, we have a gymkhana. A gymkhana is a test of skill, and we'll have a bunch of different events to see how good you are riding your bike. At slow speeds, usually, games of skill. Now, I'm assuming now that at the Janus rally, they're going to have the 200-meter death wobble. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's over this bridge with rain grooves.
Oh, you're all going to ride the death bridge? Nice, nice.
Godspeed, old
There's
guys.
gonna be video going.
Yeah,
and
that's
everything
it.
like that.
Everyone's going to, literally, it's going to be I dare you to cross that bridge at 52 miles an hour.
With no hands.
Yeah, it's going to be called the Doodle Challenge.
Well, the problem is that bridge
So
is
you guys
between them
may
and
or
the
may
Cracker
not
Barrel.
Be proud of me because I presented to them as a gift from the ClevelandMoto podcast a bottle of what?
Shanky's Whip.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Shanky's Whip.
Shanky's Whip for the win.
Hey,
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
Did you have trouble getting that?
So I think they're gonna. I told them they got to feature it on their next Ramble stream, which is their version of a podcast.
Sure, yeah.
And, so they said they would, and everybody within the shop had a little taste of it, and overwhelming majority was saying, "Holy shit, this stuff's good."
So it's so one of our podcast listeners just chimed into the chat, said they're more afraid of the death rattle than the death wobble.
Well, that could be true.
I mean, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying you got an old community, but your Chase, your sag wagon is a hearse.
Yeah, no kidding,
All right,
Or-
so that's
or an
cool.
EMS
So
bus, yeah.
so that's pretty rad, man. I'm glad you're representing. I'm glad you're out there.
Well, and I will say that they are. I had a number of comments that they're very much ClevelandMoto fans and Steve Cinch fans. So and ClevelandMoto podcast fans. So,
Yeah, our subculture's found a fucking subculture.
yeah, and so I'm passing out stickers and the Ukrainian sticker and the podcast sticker. And
Right on.
He's picked up a bottle of bourbon
Believe
and
it or not,
some
I give
and a
somebody
sprayer.
2 stickers, and it's like I gave him $100. It's like, oh my gosh, look at this! Oh, thanks so much.
It's
man.
a
This is
sticker-based economy.
I've never seen a sticker
Yeah.
before in my life.
So anyhow,
But you know,
they're-
I'm 55 coming up, and I still love a good fucking sticker.
Oh, we all do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come
it's
on.
just that little handshake. It's kind
Yeah.
of that little fun thing if you were there. Well, that's cool, Chris. I'm glad you checked in, man.
One more question
yeah,
for you,
just
though,
wanted to
Chris.
give you guys a heads up and let you know that I'm tucked in, and I'll be closing my eyes faster than Johnny Mac.
And one more question for you.
Hey, did you have
Yeah.
trouble getting that California rolled into your hotel room?
What was that?
Did you have trouble getting that California rolled into your hotel room? Or did you get an ADA room?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to tip it like 3 different ways and take the bags off and stuff.
That girl's a little big at the hips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no,
Well,
everybody's, the place is sold out, I think, and the owner of the joint was telling me that, boy, they really love these folks from Janus, and these old timers, they go to bed early and they get up early, they get up at 5 a.m. to come down and have their coffee and shit.
This is a Howard Johnson?
yeah, they're literally right. Are you sure this is Howard Johnson? Yeah. Well, that's good. Have a great time at the Golden Corral tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. Well, that's good. Give everyone there our love, and we're super happy you went down there to represent, man.
All right, guys, I'll see you later.
All right. Meckle Fresh and I are going to the Hearst Fest tomorrow. It's a little bit of a different scene.
No, it's the
So
same
drive
scene.
fast and take chances.
Ride fast and take chances. Ciao.
Tanuki says,
Tanuki
up,
says
boys.
drink. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Chris. Thanks for the call in. Ciao. Bye. Well, that was Chris Smith signing in from the Janus rally.
The smell at the Janus and
That was
Hirsch rally
live.
is the
Oh
same.
shit!
That was live.
Retroactive.
What? Retroactive breaking news.
Drinking news.
We have all these effects now. We just don't know when to use them.
Yeah.
Well, that was great.
Hey, while we're giving shouts out,
Yeah.
I got a couple guys I want to recognize that are out there. My friend Timmy B down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, said he's tuning in today. So,
Oh, wow.
shout out to Timmy B. And then my friend Jeff that lives in Lakewood had a little minor mishap this week, gone down Hogsback Hill in Lakewood.
Oh, no.
A raccoon ran out from him.
Fucking kidding me.
Tanuki's evil brother.
Oh shit!
And there's a little kink going down.
Yeah, Hogsback is...
Hogsback. And
Oh,
there's a
what's
little-
her name?
Yeah, exactly.
Tanuki-san.
That's what he was looking for. And he drove off the road. So
right.
just when the bike unweighted, the suspension, this raccoon came run out like a family of them, and he hit one square on and it put him on the ground.
Damn.
Yeah, and he was on a sizable bike, a Kawasaki
Was he going up or down?
down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hogsback is like literally 37 seconds of a good road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 37 seconds. Like if that road were 20 minutes long, it'd be the greatest road in the world.
I always like to go full power on the way up.
Oh, everyone. Yeah.
Hey, we got a
On
good,
one wheel.
we got a good question.
Yep.
Would you guys recommend a California from like 2007?
Oh.
So what year is Smith's? Isn't his a 6?
No, his is later than 14.
Oh.
So
wow. Okay.
yeah. So the Calis became 1400s long about 2014 or so, right? Yeah. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to do some little on-the-fly
It's
fact
still
checking.
the EV 1100, but it's a later one, so I think it's after the Hydrofix.
Yes, the Hydrofix is all done. Yep. So the real deal is going to be if the California you're looking at. So it came out in 2014. Yay! I should know. I fucking sold them. Yeah, if I didn't know that one, that's bad. So yeah, they came out in 2014. And it's easy to remember because Mnemonic Advice is its 1400cc bike, and it came out in year of our Lord 2014. All of the Californias that existed before that are going to be the 90s and early 2000 noughties bikes are going to be 1100s. And then prior to that, the Eldorado, which was a California Eldorado, was an 850, right? So there's the Ambassador 750 4-speed, the California Eldorado 5-speed 850, and then they became the 1100s. Tom, can you think of a Cali that wasn't a 1100 that was like a 1000? Was there one?
Californias?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, there used to be the old 700s and 750s were
I know
in
that,
California.
but I was saying, was there a middle one? Because we had 750,
1100s?
800s.
No, because
yeah.
they skipped from 850
They did, to 1100. Okay, that was where it went.
That was that weird period where the California 3 was a fuel-injected.
Correct.
Well, it might have been 1000 instead of 1100.
Yeah,
But the
anyway.
Cal 3s were that real ugly area where they're still using the pushrod square heads.
Yes.
And then they went to the Hydros with the aluminum and stone, which is when they had all the problems.
Right.
But that was about the time when Aprilia took over.
Yes, that was. That was literally when Moto Guzzi was so broke that somebody else that was bad with money had to buy them. Yeah. Yeah. If the guys who are coming to your financial rescue also have a fucking Italian drug problem, meaning they buy race teams.
But that's literally
that's
literally the Italian problem is eventually they just give it to Fiat.
right. Eventually it works its way down, right? Texas
Fiat
Texas
Piaggio.
Pacific Group, Pepsi, it doesn't matter who owns them, right? Yeah. Somebody with a there's always another Italian billionaire who's willing to lose a bunch of money to own Ducati or Guzzi or Aprilia for a while. Now that Piaggio owns Guzzi and Aprilia, it's very stabilized. It's totally stabilized. Everybody's in their own lane, and it actually works pretty well.
That's the problem between like 1989 and basically this current edition is where they've got all the kinks finally.
I agree.
Finally stabilized.
Yeah, I totally agree. The 1400 is a really fucking great bike. And so if what we're talking about, and I'll throw the picture up so Sleepy can grab it, and I'll throw it up for the guys at home. If the motorcycle that you're looking at looks a lot like this or a heavier version of this, let's be honest, this is the naked version. This is the 1400cc California. And these were very handsome motorcycles, and they are, if you're on a Harley-Davidson and one of these guys pulls up next to you, don't race him. He's going to win. He's going to take your lunch money. These bikes are fast. California 1400s are fast motorcycles. In their Eldorado trim, in their custom trim, in their touring trim, they're fast motorcycles. they do have a thing about putting the power to the ground real damn fast and also carrying it up. You get respectable run out on these motorcycles. There's not been too many chances where I've had a Harley-Davidson CVO pull up next to me that brags about being, 108 cubic inches and a whole lot of extra money spent for gold keys and had any chance at hell of keeping up with me. These are fast bikes by cruiser standards. They're very quick bikes. And they're really comfortable bikes, and they actually handle remarkably well.
And they weigh about 1,000 pounds.
Nope, they don't weigh 1,000
Oh,
pounds.
no, I had to deadlift that one today.
Even Smith didn't weigh that much.
It's a
So
joke.
Tom has a tendency to say these things, so then people take them to heart.
No. It's about four. It's probably 300-ish, 3-4. It's not. It's a little heavier than a
Wait a
standard
second. That's
cruiser.
more than 3 or 4.
No, it's a
pounds.
600-700
But it's not 1,000.
I mean,
Let's
I
just get
literally-
the actual number.
701 pounds.
I was going to say,
Okay.
it feels
Sounds
about
right.
the same
It's
as my Africa Twin, but the
700
weight is way lower.
in 1 pounds. Right. So that's one of those things. And by the way, the touring version of this bike, the California Touring, weighs 42 pounds more. So it's still not even close to the 800-pound magic number. Keep in mind, my Road King, that is not the Touring Edition, that's the Police Edition, my Road King is 848 pounds. And that's the stripped-down Road King. So it's
Yeah.
150 pounds more.
I think the
Yeah.
Springer is like 2,014 pounds or something.
But it's big boned.
It is.
It is big boned, right?
Yeah.
That is is a great statement. It's like it's a big bone
But
motorcycle.
that bike, man, like, so when I rode Smith a couple times, you don't realize, like, that Traverse remounted motor, when you give it when you're at the light, you just give it a whoop. That bike goes whoop. And the first
Kawasaki-
time it does it, it's like, holy
the,
shit.
The whole
dude.
idea, if you don't have a Guzzi in gear, or if you have a BMW not in gear, and you crack the BMW or a Goldwing or a Guzzi, and you're the first time you've ever done it, and the crank stays stationary and the motorcycle turns around it.
Yeah.
It's wanting to. That's exactly what it's wanting
It's
to do.
fucking terrifying,
Yeah.
man. So, would anyone like to guess the Kawasaki Concourse 14, which is exactly the same number of cc's, but is a sport touring motorcycle? Would anyone like to guess what that thing weighs?
I'm going to say the same weight class, 700.
690.
Yeah.
So the Cali 1400 is not a particularly heavy motorcycle. It's just what it is. I was very surprised when they showed up. I was expecting it to be a 900-pound bike based on how wide it was when it showed up. It's damn near the width of a Honda Civic when you get the California touring bags on and the crash bars and everything else. They're
You feel protected.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, it's got a lot of width to it. And today we have one at the shop that's just the custom, just the normal one. Just the normal one. And it's not 5 feet wide. And it's like, oh, this is so nice to be able to
fit down the hallway.
It
I
fits
didn't have
down the
to move
hall.
anything.
It's svelte.
We don't have to move 6 bikes to get it down the hallway. It's really funny how different the bike is when it's not just dressed up. And I think to me that's one of the craziest things is how wide they went with that thing. And that's my chief complaint about it.
Tanuki.
The number one competitor, drink for the Tanuki. At the time, the number one competitor when it came out for the California 1400 was the Harley-Davidson Street Glide. It is 866 pounds. That's 160 pounds more for less horsepower. Anytime something weighs that much more and has less horsepower, it's not going to be so much fun to ride. But it is the Cali 1400 is legitimately for a fat girl, kind of a quick girl. Yeah, chubby girl, but she gets the fuck out. She does a good job.
Remind me, it's still in production, right?
No.
Oh, no.
1400 could not meet, what was it, Tom? It couldn't meet Euro 5?
Probably,
right?
I don't know which Euro they're on now.
I think they're getting into 6 now, right?
Yeah,
so they couldn't meet Euro 5, so
Yeah.
it did have a rather short run.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, you'll notice that all new Guzzis are very small.
Yes.
Like they're very svelte. There's no big cruiser anymore. There's no big anything anymore. It's
Right.
all down to tiny little bikes. Because even the V100, which is the big sport bike, is still only 1,000.
Yeah, and it's a
And
smaller 1000.
Marshall brought up a good point. The Cal 2 was a 1,000. I actually had that motor in an older frame.
There you go.
They, like I said, they played around in the mid '80s with everything, trying to make something work, like the G5s and the 1000S, the 1000SP, all the crazy shit they did, and then they went bankrupt.
I have a blind.
Well, they didn't.
So I have a Moto Guzzi blind spot.
Yeah.
So I have a Moto Guzzi blind spot between like 1983ish
Yeah.
and 2012.
Well, basically they're all T-frames with a lot of ugly wrapped around them.
Yeah, and I
And
really
then the
do.
1000S we didn't get.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, even when we talk about like exotic race bikes, Battle of the Twin Series and stuff like that, I just didn't care for them, and I didn't like anything with the with the Cali Le Mans 1100 gas tank. So, MotoHop says Euro 5 Plus is current and eventually Euro 6, but it hasn't been announced. Yeah, so that's the reason Vespa lost 2,000 RPMs out of its bike. Yeah, that's an interesting thing.
And that's, one of the reasons why everything has changed is
Right.
because the Europeans are like, no, we're actually going to give a shit and try to fix all this. And
Right.
the rest of the world is like, we're going to go back to just burning uranium in
Just straight to the
pits.
uranium. It's, and if you're at the shop, so if you are working at my shop where we work, and you're out in the front of house, there's two noises that we hear all day long, and that's sirens and exotically loudified cars and motorcycles.
Actually, 3, and one of them just went by.
What was that?
Airplanes.
Oh, airplanes. Yeah, we don't get the airplanes aren't too loud.
It depends on if they're
yeah.
taking off or landing.
Right, that's true. So that's one of those things that I can understand why European people are starting to take it seriously about the noise part of emissions. And they are coming down hard on the noise part of emissions.
I say we ban sirens.
Yeah, this is that. I would personally,
Bastards.
I am. Oh God, I am the point now where I can tell you what city's equipment is going past my shop, and Lakewood has the most illegally loud fucking sirens.
And they're always rolling. I have never seen an ambulance move as much as I have seen
Yeah.
Lakewood roll.
Cleveland ambulances have dual drivers.
Yeah.
They're extra loud.
Yeah.
And they used to go off inside the building when we'd be working on them or trying to fix
No
something.
way.
And it was like, siren! And everybody's like, okay.
Oh shit.
Woo! Like, oh my God, it was awful.
Yeah, they don't give me that noise when I'm
Holy
bent over a
shit.
goddamn bike in front of my shop. Oh my. And I'm in there and I'm holding like a flashlight in my mouth and wrench in each hand and trying to do some intricate fucking operation level surgery
But
under a gas
Do you
tank.
remember doing the podcast with the headphones
Oh
on?
my God.
The first time we were
Yeah.
out there with headphones and them fuckers came by and it was like, fuck!
Jesus Christ.
the
Yeah.
worst was if you were working on a fire truck and you'd accidentally hit the pedal on the floor for the mechanical siren.
literally.
The air raid siren.
Yeah.
And then that just goes off. And even though you just bumped it for a second, it's like,
Yeah. Is that running off the exhaust?
no,
It's a starter motor.
Oh, it is a starter motor?
It really, I mean, it's an extra starter
Right.
motor, not the starter
No,
motor.
but it's an
But
extra
that's what
starter
it
motor
is.
for just
It's
that
just-
one.
There's a solenoid. It's just
So
like,
once you bump it,
it's gone.
you got to listen to the whole
yeah.
song.
There, you can put the brake
We
on.
have a brake, yeah.
Oh, you
yeah.
have a brake for it. Okay, that's cool.
I was
It's just a
this,
scrubber, though. It winds it down more.
I was this close to owning one,
So-
but I just didn't want to lift it.
Scott Dennis is asking about a 2004, basically EV 1100 California, which is the no-no years.
Yeah, those are kind of the no-no years. And Tom, so explain because this is actually right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Explain to them why hydraulic valves that are so reliable on Harley Davidsons, that are so reliable on so many automobiles, did not work for Moto Guzzi.
Well, they did two things that were problematic, if I understand, because you actually had to handle some of the recalls on this.
I sure did.
So the hydraulic valves, first of all, collapsed, if I remember, because they weren't pumping up the right way, because it was basically using antiquated engine technology adapted with hydraulic valves that weren't suited for that specific environment. And then if I remember correctly, the hardness and steel they used on the cams was too soft. So when they failed, they actually ground the cams down almost perfectly round.
And that is a failure that we talked about in other podcasts about the failure of diamond-like coatings. So,
Tim.
Y'all getting close?
everybody. So diamond-like coatings tend to be a fail point in General Motors engines. Toyota has had the problem, Moto Guzzi, KTM. A lot of people have had a problem with diamond-like coatings. And here's my thing. When people are like, it's diamond-like.
Like,
Like,
It ain't fucking diamond, okay? The name alone tells you That ain't fucking diamond.
Well, no, we'll pay for it with money, like.
Right, exactly.
It's like
right.
Cubic zirconia.
chocolate
And it'll last forever, like.
I have money like credits.
Right, exactly, right.
That's called crypto.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a motorcycle on the driveway. It's Harley-like, right? It ain't fucking what it is. And so this is the big thing. And where Gucci had kind of said the failure of the hydraulic valves. So I'm going to paint a tiny picture for you. In the world of motorcycle valve actuation, there are shim under bucket, shim over bucket, nut and post, and Desmo. These all exist. The shim under bucket is, in my opinion, the hardest to work on and will cost you the most when it comes time to have to adjust your valves. And if you have 24 valves, Mr. CVX, you're going to be here for a while, and life's going to suck, and it's going to be awful, and they're going to charge you whatever they're going to charge you, and you got to fucking pay it because you chose to have a 6-cylinder motorcycle with 4 valves per cylinder. That's the way the life works. But if you were lucky enough or smart enough to buy a motorcycle that has a valve adjuster that is literally on the side of the fucking motor, like a Honda 150 scooter and a couple other bikes and vehicles that exist.
BMW, Moto
Guzzi. You literally have an adjuster that you can adjust while the motor is fucking running, should you choose to. You can do that. Now, the Honda scooter engine has literally moon-shaped keyhole slots on the side. You loosen up a 10-millimeter nut, and then you can move that cocksucker while the engine is running, go to a place of the least noise, and lock it down again. And congratulations, Mom, I just adjusted my first set of valves, and I didn't even get my hands dirty.
It's a concentric lay shaft, and that's on the CB350s and 450s, too.
You got it.
So you're just moving the pivot of the rocker to adjust your thing. And it's like on the CB, like those little things on the side, you unloosen them, you turn it like this, like that, whatever. That's, yeah.
Where was that advice when I? You didn't tell me that you could be running, so I did it the hard way and did it.
You just do it according to the book.
Is that on your Aprilia?
Yeah, no, it's not on your Aprilia. No, it's not on your Aprilia. The Honda scooter
Talk
trick.
about being made of Swiss
the Honda
cheese
scooter
or
trick is a
brie.
down and dirty thing.
It's not supposed to be running.
Right,
but
it's not
it can
supposed to be
be.
running.
No,
it
but
can
that's
be.
fucking
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, you just turn it till you hear the least
Right.
noise.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That
Well,
part of it was brilliant. I'm
Have
pissed
you-
that you didn't say that before.
Hey, Sleepy?
Yes.
If you've ever done the valve adjustment on a Dodge Slant 6,
Yeah.
you do it while it's running.
While it's running. Yeah.
Well, I haven't
So,
done it.
anywho, but okay, I'm going to get back. Let's
And
go
it's the
back to
same
class,
thing.
guys. Back to
Yes,
class.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, outside of that, very few motorcycles can actually have the valves adjusted externally. Okay. However, with Moto Guzzi and with BMW's old airheads, you literally just took the valve cover off. You moved the engine to an indexed point where there was either a window that you looked at a thing on the flywheel, etc.
Top dead center on the left cylinder.
Bingo. And you did what the owner's manual told you to do, because back in the old days, the owner's manuals actually tell you how to do this. You would do that. You would adjust it to where it said. You'd put something like the thickness of a book of matches, or the little
If you have a perfect thing, it's a go no go.
a go no go. You literally would have a piece of metal that they gave you in your toolkit that you would slide in under the post, and that would tell you the correct amount of valve lash, before you lock down the nut. Yay! And if it slides in and out easily with just a tiny bit of friction or stiction, you knew you had it just right. Now, Guzzi had that. Guzzi had what, in my opinion, is the second easiest valves to adjust on planet Earth.
I disagree. I
ahead.
think they're the easiest because BMWs are far too flat and Gucci's are up high where you can
Okay,
see.
but
I further disagree, and because I know that a CX500 is a 4-valve motor that has forked rockers with tappet adjusters, and that has got to be the easiest thing because they stick right out there. You can pull the covers off.
Same with
You
the
could-
Guzzi.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like
same with
you
the
could
Guzzi.
just- Yeah,
So, in my
but
opinion,
those are 4 valves.
2, they did 4s, but
Okay.
you could have them either way.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's my statement. BMW airheads, Guzzi's, the CX500 and CX650 and all the little baby ones that go along with it, all those are in the category of second easiest. First easiest is still the Honda CH150 scooter. Number one, you can't be number one, right?
Nope.
But one above that, guys, one above that, the complete crowning jewel are the hydraulic valves that you'll never have to touch ever in your life, ever. Enter Harley-Davidson.
Or the
Okay? Or any motorcycle, the ST1100, and 100 other motorcycles that have hydraulically adjusted valves.
a Royal Enfield.
Absolutely. So here's my point. If your motorcycle has been existing on shim under bucket valves, moving to hydraulic valves is a massive change. You've just saved your customers a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money. Yay, that's the best thing ever. But if you're only moving from position the best to the infinite, you're only moving one spot. Gootsy literally sacrificed their entire reliability reputation to the hydraulic valve. Up until the hydraulic valve, people's general consensus about Gootsies was they weren't super fast, but goddamn, they did last forever. Police departments stopped buying Harleys and Indians and started buying Gootsies because there was no belt, no drive chain, no valves to worry about. They lasted forever. And when police departments say we're giving up on our Indians and our Harleys because the maintenance is too intense and we're buying Gootsies instead, that really tells you something. And Gootsy fucked that up.
How can a Chevy 350 run 350,000 miles with hydraulic valves? How did they fuck up the hydraulic valve? It's
Glad you asked, John. Turns out there's a couple of ways. The first thing you can do is have not enough oil pressure to maintain the fatness of the valves. So when you've got a hydraulically adjusted valve, it requires a certain amount of pressure going into that valve to keep it inflated. And I use the term inflated because if you picture a slightly bigger beer can sitting on top of a slightly smaller beer can and you slide them down on top of each other, right? They go down very slowly as the pressure goes out. But if you put pressure into that lower beer can, it will keep those beer cans a certain distance apart. And that is their nominal pressure. But if the pressure isn't up, what happens?
Rockers go pop.
The rockers go pop.
I
It's
know this
exactly
so
right.
well. It was
The
giving me
valves go
anxiety.
smashy smashy.
Yeah.
Because the valves, because it's like you just took the cam and ground all the fucking lobes off of it. Okay? So what Gootsy did was it traded being fucking first in its class at the easiest to adjust, meaning you could read your owner's manual and in 20 minutes adjust all 4 valves on your motorcycle by just reading your owner's manual and having one shim.
Oh, there's also adjustable push rods, too.
Of course there are. Absolutely. Harley-Davidson's been doing that for years, too. So we took a very, very easy system. Gootsy took a very, very easy system and over goddamn complicated it. What happened was they didn't build the oil pressure to support those hydraulically inflated valves. And they would not stay up. Go ahead.
Hydraulic lifters. I think.
Hydraulic lifters. That's
Yeah,
exactly
so
right.
You need to keep a certain pressure in those so they don't have to inflate it every time.
That's right.
They have like anti-leak down valves in them. But if they overpressurize, then it's like just having a solid
Then
rod
it's
in there.
solid. And that's the difference. You have to dance the dance. You have to dance the dance of having enough pressure but not too much. And many, many companies have figured this out over and over and over again. Gootsy took a perfectly good system that was reliable and only required occasional adjustment. And if you owned a 10-millimeter spanner, you could do it yourself at home. Right? Now, the problem is they fixed something that didn't need to be fixed. It wasn't like anybody was saying, oh, I'd buy another Moto Guzzi, but I got to adjust those goddamn valves. When every other motorcycle in the world had shim over bucket, shim under bucket that was competing with
There's a
Guzzi.
German word for this. It's called Schlimmverbesserung, which means to make something worse by trying to better it. And that's exactly what Moto Guzzi did.
That's exactly what they did.
But they don't speak German.
Now, do you know what Guzzi's solution was? To engineer better hydraulic valves? Nope. No. To build a little device that went in the space of the hydraulic valve that actually was a mechanical nut and screw based adjuster.
An adjustable solid lifter.
Exactly right. That's what they did. That's how they fixed the problem.
So they went back to mechanical valve adjustment then.
They certainly did. And then you could take the sticker off your bike that said hydraulic valves, and it wouldn't scare people away from buying it anymore.
Actually, I think it was Valva Hydraulique.
Valvole hydraulicia. Valvole hydraulicia. Hey, that's a coming and go. It's a good science, eh? Yeah.
Somebody's got a little skunk in that can.
Well, what we know is that fucking those unreliable hydraulic valves, that curse, fucking killed Moto Guzzi's reputation for reliability. And we know that we have seen these motorcycles with these condemned dangerous valves go 80 to 90,000 miles for people that rode the bikes a lot, changed the oil frequently, and you did run a much thinner oil.
So tell me about the rollarization thing now.
Oh, God damn it.
I mean,
Way to go, John.
Or let's not even.
Okay.
Next subject. I'm cool with
It's
just
okay.
going on.
Well, I'll give you the two. I'll give you the fast. So the 8-valve system that Moto Guzzi came out for its 1200cc motors used little tiny push rods. And they didn't function as normal push rods adjacent to the cylinders from the bottom crank all the way up to the valves. They were adorable little push rods.
Pushing from where to where?
Pushing from the bottom of the head assembly to the top of the head assembly where the little rockers were for the valves. Okay? So there's these adorable... So you
Where's
have a
the
cam.
cam?
So the cam is up at the top of the motor.
Overhead cam.
Overhead cam. Right.
Driven by
So
a
to get the energy, the cams, so you have the cams that are at the top of the motor, and then those cams don't just have a follower that rides on the cam like a roller rocker.
Yeah.
They actually have a little short 1-inch long push rod.
That's so dumb.
And it's a little 1-inch rod push rod. But the problem is the 1-inch rod push rod has a little ball on each end. And that ball rides on the cam that has the diamond-like coating on it. And the diamond-like coating fails.
Boo.
Boo. Exactly. Turns your cams blue and they don't work anymore. So what Guzzi did was they overcooked it, was they made a roller, they did what's called rollerization, where they made roller rockers that will last forever, and roller rockers are vastly superior anyway.
I was going to say, so even if you had that ball rolling on the cam lobe, that's still point loading it.
It's point loading it.
And it's not a ball. It's not rolling.
It's not rolling.
It's the shape of a ball, but it's not like a rolling
It's a ball that's
bearing.
welded to a 1-inch long rod.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a ball at each end. So a kind of a ball and socket.
So it's a burnisher.
It is a burnisher.
Yeah,
And you're right. Its point of incidence is tiny.
Well, it's
Super
relying
tiny.
on that oil film that we talked about
And
earlier.
it's relying upon the diamond-like coating,
So, but
which is neither diamond nor like.
let's just say when you first cold start that bike, it's got to pump the oil up through those push rods.
This is
so it
where
can
we think
bleed
a lot
back.
of the problems happened, was that a lot of bikes that don't get ridden a hell of a lot, they get a lot of condensation in them, and the condensation milkshake effect is a lot of the water stays at the top of the motor, up in the valve, up in the heads, and then the oil will eventually go down, but the moisture, the air, the moisture saturated air stays at the top.
Emulsified.
Thank you. And that milkshake product at the top does not prevent corrosion. And iron oxide is wicked at going through most things.
I would bet that there was not oil going through those little 1-inch push rods. It was
Correct.
probably oil coming out of the crankshaft
Yep.
or camshaft, and maybe some oil going through the rockers, but probably not.
It's got to get there somewhere, though, to the face of the
Well, I get it.
the cam. But yeah, you're right.
But
It's probably not,
how would that oil be
Right, it's
getting
not-
pressurized in that little one?
To not go into a super deep dive on it, because it only matters to Matt from MotoHop, because he's recently bought a kick-ass Moto Guzzi Norge. So, yay. So, yeah.
Has it been rollerized?
I believe his is. I believe his is a safe motor. And honestly, there's so much anecdotal evidence of people that have had the non-rollerized bikes that have lasted a really, really, really long time.
Okay.
It's probably okay.
Well,
now, the danger is that the kits are no longer available.
The Gimme V. Well, no, Matt says the V8, the 8Vs are available, but they're overseas and they have to be shipped in. They're fucking expensive.
So remember, there's 4 kits.
That's true.
Okay, and I have had good luck getting 2 out of the 4 kits in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And I've had 0 luck getting the other 2 of the 4 kits in the past 2 years.
So maybe if you have one of the questionable motors, just run it all the time. Don't let it sit.
I would say that would be my technique. So my technique, if somebody said, "Hey, I'm going to sell you a Grezzo tomorrow. It's the right color. It's tenny green. It's got a brown leather seat. It's all the things you love. It may or may not have been rollerized." I don't ride the bike enough, so I'm worried about putting 20,000 miles a year on it. MotorHop says post-factory roller change, and it's now over 100,000 miles.
Yeah.
Your bike has over 100,000 miles on it?
I believe so.
No, wait. Anyway, so long and short of it is, if I bought one, if somebody down the street was selling a 2016 or 2014 Moto Guzzi tenny green brown leather seat Grezzo, and they said, "Look, it's got 6,000 miles on it, and I don't know whether or not it's been rollerized."
Pop a valve cover off.
No, you got to pull the head.
Oh.
It's not that easy. And if a guy tells you just pop a valve cover, technically that's not going to tell you which kit you need. So pop a valve cover, that gives you a lot of information, but it doesn't actually tell you which kit you need. So
You have to
to
pull.
find out what kit you need, you literally do need to pull the fucking head. And that's what's bullshit, and that's what sucks. Is the inspection to find out which head you need is Motohop says, yep, yeah, over 100,000. Okay.
100,000 clams.
The freaking inspection letters on the bottom of the head on like even Piaggio, all of Piaggio.
But wouldn't you be able to see that it was rollerized by pulling a valve cover?
No.
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 How not?
I
It's a valve cover.
It literally covers the top of the valves.
John, we'll bring you one.
Right.
I'll have to
Yeah,
look
we
this
have a
up.
couple. We have a 1200 motor in our hallway that
Yeah.
has the heads pulled off of it. Yeah. So literally the Piaggio, the Guzzi certified method of inspection for this is to assume if the bike is on the list with the VINs that it's going to need the job. You just need to figure out which one of the 4 jobs you're going to be doing. Which kit are you going to be using? Now, I can tell you based on experience that some dealers may have filled out warranty claims for these jobs for bikes that weren't actually sitting in front of them. So they could front load their supply of A, B, C, and D kits. So when the customer rolled in, you didn't have to wait 6 weeks to get your kit. So you'd preload a couple of warranty claims to have an A kit, a B kit, a C kit, and a D kit standing by. And because of that, I don't think that the Guzzi factory made an abundance of extra kits. So they didn't make an extra 200 A, B, C, and D kits. They just made enough. But if a dealer said, I'm going to create warranty claims out of, to have bonus supplies behind, that left not enough supplies for people who actually need the shit. And that's why we're running into a problem now where I've talked to other dealers who've said, I had a guy come in and he needed a B kit and that nobody has the B kits. So now the question goes, okay, how long do you park the bike while we're waiting for a B kit to show up? That's the problem. So that could be an issue if you have it. What I would do though, again, is I wouldn't do shit. I would literally dump the oil that's in the bike out. I would put in fresh oil and I would make sure to put in like a 10W40. I would use a really good quality synthetic oil, and I might even do like 5W40.
Something super lightweight.
Something super lightweight, something super light, 5W30, 5W40.
Yeah, that is a mistake that people make. They're like, oh, my lifters are tapping or whatever. I'm going to put 2040 or heavier. No,
The oil will never get there.
Opposite way.
So I'll go the opposite way, and then I'll make sure that I will run that oil until October or November, and I'll change the oil.
There's another pro tip, too. Take the oil you drained out initially, send it for oil analysis, and then when you do your first oil change, get another oil analysis and compare those two.
Right, and if you see a lot of metal in your oil, that's a good thing to know that things are getting bad. Things are getting ugly. In which case, you had to do the job anyway. But
And isn't that like $7 or something?
It's inexpensive,
$23.
yeah.
I just had it done.
is
It was $23.
Okay.
Well,
for
that's
Blackhawk.
that's sort of the same problem we're going to have when we finally decide what to do with that EV11 you have that was the gimme bike.
Yeah, I had a guy the other day promise me, he was like, I want to bring my bike in and you're going to work on it. It's got no miles on it. It's been sitting for 14 years. But I promise you, a 100% pinky promise that this thing has been converted to the static, the nut and post adjusters. And I said, I don't care. I don't care. The real issue is you've got a cracked triple tree that the part doesn't exist. That was a recall. You've got tires that have been on the bike for 23 years, right? You have all these other issues that are all going to add up to more money than the bike is worth before we even talk about adjusting the valves. So before we even talk about whether they're hydraulic or not hydraulic, let's talk about, are you willing to do the fuel pump? Are you willing to do all the rubber? Are you willing to do the tires? Are you willing to do everything on the bike, all the fuel lines, for a bike that's been sitting 20 years? Before I even say, bring it in, let's find out, I need to know how deep your fucking pockets are. Because if you're not willing to throw $2,000 at this bike, then keep it in your fucking garage. Because if you bring it in and I do a bunch of work that you're not going to pay me for, Tom doesn't want to ride around on this fucking bike that may or may not have been converted already, and honestly, everything I've heard doesn't sound like it has been, when I know it has at least 7 other issues. Plus the mystery issues, it's been sitting for 20 years. But good news, it only has 2,600 miles on it. Which means fuck all. I would much rather it had 27,000 miles on it and been ridden 1,000 miles a year for 27 years. That would be much, much better. Yeah. Yay! So that's that.
Well, the clutch, depending on where it's stored at, the clutch may be stuck.
A 20-year-old,
anything.
if somebody says, I got a great deal for you, I'm going to sell you a 2003 Moto Guzzi V1100, V11, whatever, hydraulic valves. The hydraulic valves is the least troublesome part of that statement. That's the part everyone's freaking out about. But it's all the other parts that are more expensive.
The phrase I usually use is, you have to pay us $500 deposit before you
Right.
abandon it here at the shop.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Sure.
And leave the title.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because honestly, we don't really want that bike. Because at the end of the day, we're going to spend more than $2,000 for a bike we can't sell for $2,000. Because that's where the market is.
You're going to spend $2,000 for a really nice $1,100 bike.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Show notes. Yes, one of our listeners was like, you guys have show notes? I'm like, yeah, we've had show notes for a little while. I don't know where you've been, but
we worked on it.
if you go to the YouTube live thing or you go to Cleveland Moto Podcast, we have show notes. Chat's been on fire, by the way. Cleveland Moto Podcast chat. Thumbs up. You guys are fucking heroes.
We're pushing 30 right now, so.
I'm very impressed. Oh, we got 30 people live,
30
human
people
beings
live.
out there?
Yeah.
Get the fuck
I
out
mean,
of
granted,
here.
I'm probably one of them, so.
Wow. Okay, Tom's one of them. 29 live human beings out there.
29.
All right, so show notes. Harley dealers. Holy shit.
Wow.
The lights have turned on, the cockroaches have scattered, and the Harley dealers have left the chat. Holy shit, there's been a lot. When you think that each one of these dealerships is a mega dealer.
Don't you have that programmed into the machine?
I wish I did.
I was pretty good taps, man.
That was
Pretty good taps. I teared up just a little bit.
I almost felt sorry for
I almost
Harley
locked
for a minute.
up. The
There's a Harley rolling down the road with a pair of backwards boots on it.
Okay, so this idea, back when I was a kid, Harley-Davidson dealers were sometimes Honda dealers. Back when I was a kid, the two strongest brands would sometimes be in the same building together.
Shit, that guy went out of business about 10 years ago.
20, right?
Really? It's been
Yeah,
20 years?
Smitty's.
Smitty's.
Yeah, Smitty's. So Harley-Davidson came by almost 20 years ago and started a program that said, if you're Harley and anything else, no
Get
bueno.
fucked.
Can't have that. So they took a lot of guys that were like, hey, we've been doing this since 1913, being Harley and somebody else. Yeah, can't do that anymore. But we've been doing this since 1913. Yeah, go fuck your hat. That's not how we're doing it anymore. We want big square boxes next to the highway. But I'm not a big square box next to the highway. I'm a building that's been here for 100 goddamn years.
But you're going to be.
Right, but you're going to
But hopefully you do like big boxes next to the
Right.
highway.
Are you willing to move your historical building next to the highway?
And isn't that kind of what Hideout and Avon? It was Avon Honda, but they had two separate stores, so they weren't in the same
Right,
thing.
they had two buildings.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That was out in Mentor.
And
They
they're
did
out of
Mentor the
business.
same way.
And they're out of business.
And they're out of business. And Mentor. And they're out of business.
Are they?
So, yep.
When did they go out of
So that's the trick is, so the one that was the original Mentor Harley-Davidson on
Yeah.
Tyler Boulevard,
Yeah.
they went out of business, and now there's a separate new, like, big box by the highway Harley-Davidson. Yeah.
okay.
So that's what happened.
Because that was
So
like Western Reserve, Honda, and Harley.
And Harley-Davidson.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
There's that one
Alright.
down by Columbus that advertises itself
It's
as like
Finks. I think.
the oldest Harley.
Or,
AD Faro.
Pharaoh.
AD Faro.
That can't have been their original.
No,
spot
AD
either.
Faro.
that looks also
Again,
like, you know,
back to our original statement.
Yeah.
Would you like to have a big
a
box,
big box
by the highway?
Because that's what I thought.
Or
of
would you
when
like
said
to
it.
retire out of being a Harley-Davidson dealer?
Right next to the Stuckies.
Right. And same with Sandusky. They were a really, really old Harley-Davidson dealership, and they got to be right there on 250 by Cedar Point, a big box right by the highway, right? So it was either become a big box by the highway or just fucking, don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you, right? So this list is crazy. And some of these are monster dealers. Taboo Harley-Davidson in Louisiana. They were a big. And by the way, you'll know if a shop is a big Harley-Davidson shop if you're on vacation somewhere and you see old white men wearing that shirt, then you know it's a big Harley-Davidson dealership. This is one that kills me is New York City Harley-Davidson. Gone. Just fucking gone. Wow. Los Angeles Harley-Davidson. Gone. San Francisco Harley-Davidson. Gone. After 110 years.
Wow.
Okay. if you build motorcycles and you have a dealership that's 110 years old, that's the last dealership that ever closes. You keep that dealership alive, especially if it's in San Francisco, headquarters for the Hells Angels, etc., and all of your fucking history.
But just hang on a little longer because the new Harley-Davidson 350, 400, whatever, might
500
might show up.
It might rescue
It's
your
going to
company.
save the whole
It's gonna
company.
cure
Trust
it.
me. Building a small bike is going to, no.
Wyoming? Come
I thought it
on,
was-
how much
I thought electric was
competition?
going to do it.
Right.
Oh, yeah, electric bikes.
Electric is going to... Oh, the Livewire is going to save Harley. Yeah, that's another bucket they just
What
put the
about an
money in.
adventure bike, maybe?
Oh.
Well,
we'll
the
talk
Pan
about that
America
too.
is pretty
Pan
fantastic.
America Street.
And they do, yeah, the street version, the ST. That thing.
You know
was
what? That's so great
fucking-
because that motorcycle is an amazing motorcycle with fantastic performance numbers. It really is. I've ridden them. They're great. My friend Clark has one. It gets lower when you come to the red light. Like, they're really, really cool motorcycles. And I'm so happy that every bit of that motorcycle is made in America.
Yeah.
Oh, I love.
Oh, I'm sorry, except for the suspension, the engine, the frame, not even the seats. No.
Nuts, the bolts, the wiring harness, the computer, the ECM, the ABS pump, the ABS.
Oh, wait, you mean
brakes,
not
the
a single fucking part of that bike is
assembled
made in the
in.
United States. Oh,
it
I
has
get
a little
it now.
sticker like the old Apples do that
Right,
say
yeah.
assembled in.
Assembled in, right, yeah, right. For
That's
real.
why it's powerful and it's.
And that's why it's awesome.
I know.
Right, right. So, okay, here's the one that hurts me. I went to a dealership in Wyoming that is the only Harley-Davidson dealership in a distance because it's Wyoming. I don't know if you guys have spent much time in Wyoming, but you got a lot of room in Wyoming.
That Sturgis is just around the corner, though.
Just a- And I think those are the two dealerships that compete for the same market. They're only 600 miles apart. That dealership closed. What kills me is that dealership was part of a family of dealerships that was High Country Harley-Davidson, and they were in Colorado and in Wyoming, and they both closed. So the question is, just real quick, is it because their customers are all too old?
No.
Is it because they're forcing their dealers to go into an unsustainable box by the highway thing where the expenses of running a box by the highway are higher than the profitability of the motorcycles they're selling? Or is it that there is such an abundant supply of lightly pre-owned Harley-Davidsons that you never need to go and pay full price for a new one?
Well, that's the thing. I think.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or-
all of the above.
Or is that Harley-Davidson, being several $1 billion in bad paper that they've written out
Yeah.
for motorcycles that they can't reclaim anymore, their financial department is steadily going under. But in the meantime, they're watching their aged customers grow out of motorcycles. Die
Definitely
off.
age out.
And on top of that, they're watching an aged business model, which is tiny, big boxes right next to the interstate, become too expensive for the people that are operating them in this environment. And they want them to intentionally to go out of business so they can begin selling through a product similar to Tesla, where they just have service industries.
And that was going to be my follow-up was the big box by the freeway was like, oh, look, honey, we're on our way to Branson. And look, there's a Harley-Davidson dealer along the way. We should stop and go have a Harley-Davidson experience.
And buy a jacket.
And have a hot dog, right? And buy a jacket or some
There's some
gloves.
popcorn,
or a
we can get
T-shirt that
grease
says
prints all
we
over
were
it.
at the Branson Harley-Davidson
Go
dealer.
through the Harley-Davidson corn maze.
By the way, there is a
Take the hayride.
there's a Pearl Harbor Harley-Davidson. Okay? There is a Pearl Harbor Harley-Davidson T-shirt that you can buy at the sacred ground that is Pearl Harbor in the gift shop. And yet there is no Pearl Harbor Harley-Davidson dealership. The closest you can get is Honolulu.
It sunk.
And so
they went underwater. Come on, the joke was there.
as a bit of a veteran and as a bit of a Harley-Davidson guy and also sardonic piece of shit that I am,
Yeah.
when I was in the gift shop if you haven't been to Pearl Harbor, it's emotional. So I'm done with Pearl Harbor. We're in the gift shop and I was like, what the fuck? Are they selling T-shirts that say Pearl Harbor Harley-Davidson, and it's got a picture of a Navy WLA on it and like a Corsair fighter in the background and all this Americana shit and, some hibiscus leaves and whatever. And I get that, but I actually asked the people in the gift shop, where is the Harley franchise? Where is it? Scott Dennis says, y'all broke Sleepy. Yeah, we did. Break Sleepy almost every week.
If we don't break
easy to
him, he
break.
breaks himself.
Sleepy's finding everything funny right now.
He does.
No, you guys
Extremely
are being funny.
potent.
It must be the giggle
Extremely
juice.
potent. It is the giggle juice. So I asked the staff members of our national parks, I said, is there a national park? Is there a Harley-Davidson on the premises? No, of course there isn't. Well, you certainly give the impression that there is. Yeah, it's a marketing thing. The national parks should shake hands with Harley-Davidson. They made this shirt. Cool. So I go to the actual dealership. So I go to the actual dealership, was nowhere near Pearl Harbor. And I go there, and they got those fucking T-shirts there too, right? Because that's how they're hanging their shit.
They're both in on
They're
the
both
game.
in on the joke, right? They're both in on the game. But there is a Waikiki or Honolulu Harley-Davidson dealership. It's not at Pearl Harbor. It's not close to Pearl Harbor. It's not in the shadow of Pearl Harbor. It's just America, America, America marketing. That's the idea. So you can be super patriotic. Go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking back. So, like, I was there at the beginning of this when they started focusing on all that, when they sued me for doing the
Right.
Sport Bikes for Life thing.
Exactly.
And so, like, that's when I found out that they had this whole department, a whole building of just lawyers looking for copyright infringement.
Absolutely.
Because they were going to go so hard on the apparel.
Right.
And so that was 20 fucking years ago. And now we're seeing the fruits of that labor.
And the big box store, they don't, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, you make a higher margin on the T-shirts. You make a higher margin on the dog chains. You make a higher margin on any of that. You know, the
Get back whips.
fucking get back whips. My God, man. You make more money on that than you ultimately do on the bikes. The bikes is just a financing game. So the bikes are just literally a vehicle to get you to Harley-Davidson financing, HOG, right? And that's really why I think this thing is failing. And it's collapsing on multiple levels at the same time. And they haven't given their buyers a product that they want to fucking buy. That's the problem.
It's a house of carbs.
Did you say House of Carbs?
Yes.
Are you fucking
It's all
hilarious. Jesus fucking Christ.
Sean hasn't said one word and then comes in.
House of Carbs. Comes in with a House of Carbs restaurant reference. I got to say, that's something. Yes, I like it.
Well, look,
It's in the machining shop, the game of Hones.
They proved they proved a couple of presidents ago that they will not let big businesses fail. So we have a troubled asset relief program that'll come out and buy up all the bad paper that all the Harleys are worth now. And we've proven we've had a test run of Intel being co-opted.
It's probably better to say let's just be honest, and that is say you cannot bad finance your way out of a problem.
And
So you cannot write bad paper to save your business. That's only going to work.
oh yeah.
2 or 3 times.
Well, yeah. I mean, Wall Street will buy anything as long as it's got a dollar figure attached.
Right.
Up or down doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right.
And so, like I said, I predict they're probably going to be available through Amazon like Hyundai's are right now in the next 5 years.
And I think that it does you no good to have a big box by the freeway when 90% of the people who are buying things today are buying things on the toilet.
Yeah.
When the number one place to make a purchase,
I hate
where
going-
you do
I hate
your
going to
research,
stores.
where you do everything, is literally on your device, right? So if everything is all focusing on buying something on your device, and Harley-Davidson leans into it too, yep.
Okay, so the somewhat counter to that, though, is that the higher end, like if you are shopping the higher end of a market,
Yes.
we'll say, for lack of a better term, the luxury scope of the market.
Just say Rolex.
Yeah,
Right.
Those places are doing those are doing very well with brick and mortar still, because
Absolutely.
those buyers do like an experience in store.
Yeah, they do.
However, then take into consideration perhaps the average age of your customer, which in Harley Davidson's case, still may or may not be inclined to try to do everything online again. It depends.
And if you're going to sell the image that the Harley-Davidson owner is a rugged individualist, right, then you're also selling the image that maybe a Harley-Davidson owner might acknowledge the fact that the bike he wants to buy today is available in the 3-year-old used variety for $10,000 less. And Harley-Davidsons that used to be famous for holding their value don't hold shit.
I want the Sportster 883 with the Tiger Shark motif and the Get Back Whip and we don't have
But
that in
here's the
stock.
thing.
Oh, there's one for $3,300 on eBay.
Not that we have to tell most of the people listening, but
Yeah.
we're also not dogging Harleys because right now is a great time to go suck up a bunch of used Harleys, man.
Damn straight it is.
The problem is not so much with the product. The problem is with the problem is the corporation that sold the product or is trying to sell the product new.
often how it goes.
Right, exactly.
how it goes.
Right. The product itself is still going to be a fine product. We're going to enjoy it and love it, all kinds of stuff. But the corporation that's handling the product is just not doing a great job. And does anybody else notice that Yamaha somehow turned 70 years old today? Or not today, but recently. 70 years old is it's older than I am. And when I consider a Japanese motorcycle company to be 70 years old, I mean, we're about to have Vespa's 80th birthday. Vespa's about to turn 80 years old next year. And Yamaha, I think of Vespa as like, Vespa's an old company. Sure, it's been around a long time. World War II, absolutely.
Vespa's still dating a 23-year-old.
Right, yeah, Vespa's still dating. Absolutely. 100%. Vespa is totally dating a 23-year-old right now. Yeah. Vespa's behavior is very much like I'm dating a 23-year-old. Yeah.
She tells me I look hip.
No. You know what? Vespa's Instagram looks just like the guy who's dating a 23-year-old.
Vespa was like just having tea.
Yeah.
And then like his 23-year-old girlfriend came up, and then the next thing was like, snack. Get this snack.
I mean, just get a snack. That's all. Just a snack. Livery for Yamaha brought out the red and white again. So I'm always been a fan of Yamaha's red and white livery.
I started
And
trying
gold
to
rims.
decipher that thing, and it was all just quotes from other people and not enough pictures of the red and white, and I kind of gave up on that.
Yeah. So you can throw the picture up. I'm definitely in the camp of I've always thought that whether it was a dopey little YSR or an RZ or anything else, I have always liked the red and white Yamaha livery. It's always been kind of my favorite color scheme.
Yeah, there's no broken stripes though. I like.
Yeah.
Oh, there is. Yeah, if you look at these bikes, there's definitely some of that
Well,
block.
where's all the rest of the pictures of these really cool bikes? Like a
I
little
know,
more, like
that's
this
what
whole
I-
thing.
Oh,
like
okay, all right. We can provide. We can do with that.
I was hoping for a little more retro.
Why do I suddenly feel like smoking a Marlboro?
Don't need all that. They need to bring that back. The Joe Camel Honda.
Lucky
Strikes.
Specials,
So the
man.
bike that Tom is riding, I had one of my customers that had the Moto Guzzi V85 TT, and I told him, if you don't do a desert, like a Lucky Strike desert, Perry Dakar on that, you're a fool. And he went and got the decals made, the Lucky Strike decals for the side of it, and it looked fucking cool.
Love it.
Great.
Oh my fucking God, it looks so good. Sometimes things just bring back that, like whether it's Marlboro team colors or Camel, like Joe Camel, as fucking awful as it was.
I'll
racing-
take
that
a
racing-
Joe Camel CBR 600.
That Racing 60
It was
Vespa,
the only time purple and yellow was cool ever.
If that Racing 60s Vespa ever comes back in, I am putting Winston stickers down the side of
Ooh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was definitely
Fair
needed
enough.
that.
Every generation of the 900RR had great fucking color schemes. Every
It
one.
really
man.
did.
It was like the bright pink and blue and white, and then they had the purple, yellow, and black and white, and then finally like that bright red, and every fucking one.
Yeah,
Oh, I love
they were gorgeous. I mean, really, that idea, those team bikes, right? That kind of stuff. To me, that shit looked great. I couldn't get enough of that. And what made it so cool? Go ahead and you can throw this picture up. So this is where they did the broken up the cubes, the squares, with the black shadows, right?
So it's back to like the old. Yeah, that's like okay.
Yeah, that's the '80s bikes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
that's-
no, that's like the '90s. That's like the original R6, I think, when it first came out. They had a scheme like that.
Yeah. So definitely that is showing up.
Okay.
The black and red squares
With
are showing
requisite
up.
monster.
Yeah.
Of course, with the requisite active aero. That bike is an aero transportation system. Look at how much fucking aerodynamics are on that bike. It almost looks silly.
Yo,
Oh,
dog.
wait, is that
We heard
the
you liked
V4?
Arrow.
Is
so
that
we
the new
put Arrow.
V4? They put the scheme on the V4?
I think it is. Oh. Yeah, I think it is. The M1.
Hey, you
Hey,
told
you've
us
been paid not to do that.
right?
we need to get
Yeah.
John like a yard
Put it away.
to smack
My
it.
problem is this motorcycle looks like it's having sex with a hammerhead shark.
Yeah, dude. Let's go back to that. Real
I was
quick.
going to say, the front looks like a catfish.
It does look like a catfish.
Yeah, it looks like Tom Selleck or something. Fucking mustache.
I'm sorry, I must ask you a
That
question.
motorcycle is ironic for some reason.
It is ironic. Yeah.
I love it though.
Yeah, there is
A little
so
back
much-
hair too.
Yeah, there. I mean, seriously, it has prickly spines up its back. Right, it does. Yeah.
Like you wouldn't fuck that.
Oh, I
motorcycle.
swear to
Come
God,
on,
I know
man.
I'm busting balls right
All
now,
right,
but it
yeah.
is beautiful.
That's a fucking
Yeah.
bike.
Sometimes you got to sit on it.
It is a perfectly.
No. Not just sit on it. Sit
Ride
on it
it.
and bounce.
Oh, yeah,
Sit
yeah.
on ride it.
Yeah. Yeah. I will tell you that, you know, it's hard. I don't know. I've never met somebody who hates Yamaha, who just hates Yamaha.
I have a lot of respect for Yamaha.
Me too.
I mean,
We
I'm putting them number 2 in the Japanese 4.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, totally.
I'm going
I mean,
Honda,
Dean works
Yamaha.
for him.
I go back and forth between Honda and Yamaha.
Yeah.
T7, Transalp.
Oh, they're different machines.
I know Yamaha's coming strong pretty
Yeah,
good.
Super
Dude,
Tenere versus.
MotoHop has a great question. So
Way
since they
funner.
have the new V4 going into MotoGP, will it eventually become a new fucking VMAX? That is a great question,
That is,
dude.
especially now too, because we have the new, we have the new Multistrada.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
and it can have a Venture touring bike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we could have a new Venture.
Oh, dude, they
right?
could put that toward to take out the Pan America. So
Yes, we
Yamaha
could.
bring. Oh, because dude, the Tenre's dead.
Yeah.
it hasn't changed in
Yeah.
how many? I got
Tenere's
rid of
been
mine.
stagnant.
How
Yeah.
many years ago did I get rid of mine?
Yeah, the Tenere's been stagnant for a long time.
Well, I
You're
was
right.
just looking at, they were talking about older touring bikes to buy, and I was looking at the VFR 1200. I always liked that bike and everything, and that was
yeah.
180 horsepower. I didn't realize it was
Oh,
that
I didn't
much.
realize that either.
It was a lot. I mean, don't quote me for sure, but it was like holy shit! I didn't know it had that much.
Now I'm torn between the Venture, cruiser style classic, or the Venture old style that looks like it came in a Buck Rogers.
Old style.
Old style.
Does anybody want to see a really dodgy picture of a VMAX concept bike?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I will provide.
Oh, wait, you're
I
already
will provide
streaming
baby
on the
birds.
TVing, but yeah, I'll put it up. Ready?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, throw it
All
up.
right, there we go.
That is the heavily doctored,
Nope.
heavily.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That looks nothing like a VMAX.
No, thank
Yeah, I agree.
If it doesn't have the round headlight, if you want to build a concept of a VMAX, make
Yeah.
it look
That
like a
was my
VMAX.
zipper going
Because
up.
it
It does.
hasn't changed. The VMAX never changed.
Right.
The VMAX looked exactly the same for 70 years.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I think that this might be what Tom's talking about. So this is probably the most radical that a VMAX has ever gotten.
Oh, this thing. Hold
And
on.
this is this fucking awful concept they did with Hermes or Herme or,
If
Hermes.
it's not purple, go fuck yourself.
yeah.
It's got to be purple. It has that
this
ugly
is,
blue purple.
Yeah, yeah. This is an awful.
Did they work with
motorcycle.
Dyson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it certainly does suck.
Well, the whole back of the bike is a sex crime too. So, like, you know what we should do? We should wrap our exhausts in
You mean
leather.
Hermes,
Dude, that looks like the back of it looks like a Hayabusa wrapped in leather.
It does. It actually does. It actually looks like a pygmy giving birth.
I'm surprised they put their name on this. This is
It
kind
is. It is
It
really
looks
bad.
like a chair looks like a chair literally in a strip club.
I just don't think that any motorcycles will actually harmed for this image.
The whole back
So-
of it, not the front. The
Yeah.
front just
Right.
Looks like the
Yeah.
it looks like the BMW R1200C, the chrome heads.
It
does.
They
It
put the
does.
big
Yeah.
But to the
handlebars
strip
pull back
club,
on
the
it.
stripper might be buried inside of it.
Yeah, yeah,
But like,
that's exactly
for
it.
Hermes to put their name on something is usually got to be a pretty good looking product.
Again,
all
I don't
around.
think it made it past the concept stage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So-
Because like, dude,
again-
if Hermes was involved more, wouldn't have they done something with the wheels?
I think
Like,
this is
that
just-
would have
Yeah.
been like their opportunity to go fucking
Right.
ape shit.
They could have gone ape shit with the wheels.
If the movie like Ishtar was a motorcycle,
Yes.
this is I got the great idea. We got
Pete is not dating himself or anything here, but those of you out there, you might want to look up IMDb.
if you want to just change all the aluminium on this motorcycle with brass, you get the steampunk edition.
exactly.
It's the exact same motorcycle. That's the steampunk edition. That is all.
Yeah,
Oh,
for a
fucking
VMAX
awful.
to not be that weird, obnoxious blue purple
Yeah,
with the silver on the side
so
and the gold and the
ridiculous.
whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
It's not a VMAX concept. It looks more like a B King.
So, what did you ride tonight, Phil?
Well, I'm glad you should ask.
yeah.
Because it just so happens I took a bike in on trade today. And the motorcycle I took in on trade today is an old motorcycle. It's a 2005.
Oh my god!
So it's a 2005 motorcycle. But you know I have standards. I mean, not great standards, but I have standards. And this thing is fuel injected. Because I don't take anything on trade anymore that's not fuel injected. So this is a fuel injected Suzuki motorcycle with 800 cc's. And I knew that tonight John was going to ride the Anal Intruder.
Yes.
So tonight I rode the Anal Marauder. Oh, yeah. So before this bike was called the M50, brother to the M90 and brother to the M109, or little brother to both of those, before all that, before the boulevardification, like the starification of the Yamaha line, the boulevardification of the Suzuki line made this bike into an M50 Boulevard. Well, my friends, it used to be called the Marauder. Same upside down front end, same power cruiser stance, and I bought this motorcycle today. To be honest, though, I traded it in. So it came in today underneath a 70-year-old human in trade for a Moto Guzzi V100 S Mandello.
Oh,
The bike you did the video on.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
that's
he
a
took
good
it with
fucking bike.
engine guards and expandable side cases and the whole shooting match. He took it all.
Well, congratulations on his upgrade.
He got a major, major upgrade. And so this was a bike he bought for him and his son to enjoy many years ago, 20 years ago, and apparently only put 3,600 miles on it. It's fuel injected.
minimal enjoyment.
It's 800 cc's.
What kind of valves?
What's that?
What kind of valve?
I don't know.
You know what the best part
The
is?
best kind, the kind of valves that don't need any adjusting
you
right now.
never have to touch them.
Never gonna have to touch it. So, a couple of things about this motorcycle is, if you could get arrested for excessive tail flip, this motorcycle has excessive tail flip. And what is also weird about this motorcycle is if you look at the tail light from the back, it looks like the Batman symbol. I'm going to find a picture of it while we're talking about it.
I've
But
only
it is
seen one bike with more tail flip, and that was in the previous slide.
You can slow down.
the
You've
Hermes
already
edition.
sold it. Just stop making it sound so sexy.
stop making it sound so sexy.
Steve can only get so erect.
Just a
It's-
little flip of the tail.
Its
I
tail
love this
light
fucking bike.
literally looks like a kitty head. I don't know. It's just something they did.
I'm
So,
intrigued,
Go
man.
ahead and throw it up to the main screen.
I
There
am
you go.
fucking in love with
throw
this
it up.
bike.
The tail light literally looks like a cat.
Oh, that looks like it'd be in
Batmobile.
the Munsters. Man, or
Batmobile,
some
for
shit.
real, yeah. But also, the speedometer also looks like a cat. I'll pull up a picture of the speedometer. So the speedometer has ears, too. I keep going somewhere between the Batman symbol and also a kitty cat.
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty. Absolutely. So
I
here's
rode
the-
it. It was funny how similar it was to my Intruder. I'm
Right.
like,
It's
I love
your-
it.
It's an 800.
I
and you
want to
can-
buy
Go ahead
this.
and pull this picture up.
All right.
So even the speedometer has ears, which I think is hilarious.
Love it.
Yep.
Fucking, yes.
Ah,
It's a fuel-injected 800 shaft drive.
It feels
Right?
a lot like my bike, except a lot more bigger. You know, like,
It is bigger.
yeah.
But the motor itself was like, this feels almost exactly like
Dude,
mine.
Yeah.
you let me take it out. I went around and I'm like, oh my God, this is the summer. Like, you get on this wearing, like, that would where I'd be actually comfortable wearing just minimal gear,
Yeah.
you know? And you're just doing 35, 40, just chilling.
Just chilling out.
That thing it has the perfect torque for doing just like a low, like the DGR.
Yeah.
I would literally put one of those gyroscopic drink holders in an ashtray.
Yes.
And you'd be set, man. It's like,
love that. Love it.
If it wasn't for the ergonomics, I mean, I like the engine in my bike, but it's just cramped. It's weird. This is much more
The
comfortable.
seat on this thing is
the seating
aggressively delicious.
Dude, the seating position. I was like, in 4 minutes, I'm like, I could go right now to Pennsylvania.
Right.
I don't know where we want to go.
The seat, this is a factory fucking Suzuki seat. And I don't know who the fucking design team was on this thing, but they were all very lazy old white men.
Yeah.
Because they nailed the seat. The handlebars, they're like, oh, it has the, you know, the drag style handlebars or whatever. They're okay where they are. I might change the position a little bit.
He said the bars were painful.
Right. So you're right. So Fat Guy on Little Bike, the original VZ 800 Marauder had almost T-bars on it. It had almost drag bars on it. This is a little more friendly. The pullbacks, like the risers on this are like that pullback style
I didn't
riser
mind it.
that brings the bars a lot closer to you. Whereas the Marauder, the legit Marauder, the carbureted Marauder, had basically a T-bar in front of you. Like basically drag, like legit, like broom handle drag bars.
Well, there is a version of that 800 motor that's like a standard bike or like a semi-naked, you know, like...
Yeah, it's called the Volusia. Oh no, you mean
the VZ? It's
the
like,
VZ,
It's like a VZ 800 or whatever.
You're right.
Oh yeah.
Standard
out
bike.
there.
Yeah, you're
Was that
absolutely right.
that wasn't the Vision?
I would like
Is
that.
that the
I'm like,
Vision?
We're gonna find it.
No.
We're gonna find it. Yeah, I think John's exactly right about
Yeah,
the
because
VZ,
it was
yeah.
a weird little. For like 2 or 3 years, they made that.
I think
thing.
he's right.
it's like
I
an
think he's-
intruder, but with a flat seat and a little bit.
I want
It's
to
a
get
motor-
back to
well,
buying this motorcycle.
The VZ is a Marauder, so the VZ is a Marauder. So
Maybe an XV.
I bet you
No.
an XV or a VX.
something like that.
VX maybe. We'll find out. So
My
go ahead,
phone-
Sleepy. You were saying we're going to keep doing this while you're doing
No,
that.
I'm not doing anything. I said I'm waiting to see how I can
Yes,
buy
we
this
have found it.
machine. We have to find out.
Scott Dennis has posted that he would like to fight Sleepy for possession of the motorcycle. So I'm advising us to get Patreon money up enough to buy this, so we can.
I think votes. We could
so I
set
can
up
pay-per-view
votes.
this
Who should
thing.
get to buy it? We can
So-
have the votes.
You've
Phil
always-
hasn't even told us the price yet. This very
And
moment
I'm
for
not
your
going to
motorcycle.
until the
this
very end. In fact,
Vote when it is the
all right,
VX800.
Hold on a second. It's the VX800
Yeah.
and BT Dubs. Holy shit, John. Holy shit, my friend. This is a blurry picture. I don't care. You don't need it to be in focus. Throw it up.
Yeah.
That is is the VX800.
it's-
There was one on Marketplace,
Yeah.
and it was going for dirt cheap. I'm like, the motor's nice. I would rather have that. I mean, like,
Well,
I'd
this
ride the
is-
shit out of it.
But
I mean,
the-
it's a
but
poor
the-
man's hawk.
Yeah, it is a poor man's hawk, but it has the biggest dumb triangle.
Oh, yeah.
Between the headlight and the gas tank, there's a foot and a half.
You know what the funniest?
of nothing.
You know what the
It
funniest
looks
part
like
is?
it looks like a pair of legs, like it's just like wrapped around a seat. Like they cut
This
the body
really is
off.
this really is the Suzuki like Hawk. You think a GT650 Hawk's a cool bike? Well, we have this 800 motor that's just sitting there. We're going to make the best Hawk ever. And what they did was they made some sort of weird fucking mutant stretched Hawk.
Well,
Yeah, it has none of the cool of a Hawk.
I'm
a
here
big
for
hawk.
it. I'll give you $500 for that all day long.
I do believe that I have found the only way you should buy one, and that's purple.
yeah.
Yeah.
Purple.
Purple. So the VX800.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry, but
no, is this a shaft?
I don't like that motorcycle.
No.
Well, that's
it's-
the.
No,
what's
I think
the,
that's changed.
What's
would
that V twin Yamaha that's littered all over skid mark that everybody always wanted to like for
the
5
Virago.
minutes? Everybody wanted to turn
The
into a cafe
920.
racer.
You will not
The
like
920.
Yeah,
The
this,
920.
This is what you should just buy.
The
You will not
cursed-
like the look of that bike, but I guarantee you, if you rode it, you would be like, I kind of like this bike.
It is shaft drive.
You can save yourself a lot of pain and misery
Yeah,
by just
it is
buying
shaft
that.
drive.
See,
It is
to
shaft
me,
drive.
it looks like they took the GS850 chassis because
Yeah.
like where the foot pegs are in the back and how they hang down and where the
Oh, yeah.
shock mounts are. And it looks like they just fancied it and threw the V twin in
Well,
the
that
same.
would just be so much more comfortable than mine because it actually could sit back a little bit. The pegs would be different. It would be way more comfortable, and you could just
The long-term problem with the one that you have, John, is like somebody took both wheels and smashed them together and built a motorcycle in the middle of it.
It's okay except for the seat position.
Yeah.
I can't get far enough back. My knees
you
are
find?
hitting my elbows.
Okay, so anyway, just to stop the bleeding for the folks at home. So I have now thrown
So
up
90s.
to the screen the 1992 Suzuki VX800, which we can undoubtedly is clearly part of the DNA of the Marauder / M50 Boulevard that I rode to the podcast tonight. Now, I will call your attention to the fact that this particular motorcycle sold, this is in 1992, sold for $1,500 hairs.
Yeah.
And that the one I rode tonight, which has only 3,600 miles on it, which has a backrest, which has a full set of Viking lockable luggage, that has a really nice windshield on it, and is in gorgeous condition. I could live without the Kuryakin plumpy grips.
Yeah.
I don't care for those. It also has Kuryakin peg and shifter lever covers, which is, again, something I could live without. I bought this motorcycle today for $1,250.
And I'm done. Here you go.
A fuel injected.
He's pulling out
And
a
again-
stripper.
again-
He's pulling out a stripper cash.
Again,
Yeah.
I have to make money on this for the
Yeah,
money
yeah,
the
yeah.
bikes I lost money on this week.
All right, let's go.
So this is one of those balancing the game out kind of deals here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't force him to take that money, by the way. I asked him what he wanted for it on trade, and he gave me the number.
You can't beat that.
And Renee pulled me off his dick seconds later. I was very excited when he told me his number, right? But again, that's the money that he wanted for the bike. And it's a fuel-injected bike.
Yeah.
So I know that myself and ourselves and other podcasts have been talking about how the market is fucked up for motorcycles right now. It is absolutely a buyer's market. Well, it's never a buyer's market that when we can literally show you a fuel-injected 800cc motorcycle that has good tires on it, runs perfectly, touch the button, it starts every time, has 3,600 miles on it, and was obtained for the princely sum of $1,250.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. And I would say that's Chinese scooter money, except that won't buy you a Chinese scooter.
Right.
And if you want to spend more money, we have a Chinese scooter right now. I will get running for you.
Hey, let me go back.
Right.
Let me go back to this picture real quick.
Yeah.
When I say this, we can never go back, though.
Yeah.
When you look at the wheels,
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
think
thinking
of
the same thing.
Patrick, SpongeBob
Yeah,
SquarePants.
Patrick Star.
Like,
No, I think of like a 1990s Ford Mustang.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that
Totally.
too.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's a 90s Mustang.
Just,
you see where he's at? He's a car guy. I'm like, SpongeBob.
just vanilla ice riding that down the street.
Yeah, it is. It is
For real.
I wish they were spokes.
so
I
not-
just wish they were spokes. For real. So it is fucking hilarious that this motorcycle is literally the motorcycle that I purchased today for...
Well, what did you say
I
a
fucking
couple weeks
love
ago? A kid stopped by with a 883 or 1200
That's a
Sportster.
fucking
The kid
bike,
stopped by
dude.
today. Kid stopped by 2 weeks ago with
Yeah.
an 883 Sportster that was year of our Lord 2022. So it's fuel injected. It's a Sportster. It's an 883, and I hated to do it, but he's like, "Give me $3,000 for it," and I was like, "I'll give you $2,200. There's a dent in the tank." And he was like, and he fucked off, right? But that's a 2022. It's a less than 3-year-old bike, and it's a Harley-Davidson, and I was going to buy it. Well, he wanted $3K. I didn't give him $3K because, honestly, I don't think I could sell it for $3,700 until I replace the tank. And that would cost me at least $3 bills.
And what's the least expensive Marini on the floor right
Right,
now?
right, exactly.
I mean-
the least expensive Marine on the floor is going to be $54.99.
And you've got a Royal Enfield Interceptor that is
$4,500.
kind of living there now.
No, it's sold.
It did sell.
It's gone. I sold
Excellent.
it. It's gone. It's left. Yeah, it's left.
Somebody needed that bike because I was looking at it going,
It was a
I
good looking bike.
I need to ride that
Baker,
bike.
fucking Baker, Cannonball Baker paint scheme, red and white on a
Yep.
Enfield Interceptor. It looked good. So this to me is a very, very interesting science experiment because it's like, how bad has it gotten? It's gotten this bad.
Yeah.
It's gotten fuel injected, disc brakes, all the cool shit. Nice bike to ride. I mean, you ride it. It's a nice bike to ride. There's nothing a problem with it. It doesn't rattle. It doesn't squeak. It doesn't groan. It does exactly what it's supposed to do.
If
it
you're
feels
small,
great.
it's low to the ground.
Yeah, and I rode it around the neighborhood, and I was like, I couldn't stop giggling at how good it was for that money. It's just a really good bike for no goddamn money.
And the
Now-
size of it, when like I first walked up, I thought it was an 1800.
I know when I pulled up,
Yeah, I
right,
was
that
like,
chubby
all right.
front tire and everything, it fools you. The front end looks so much like that big nasty M109 that it fools you a little bit.
Yep.
And it's definitely, there's a lot of the art department has been involved with this thing. So, but yeah, and it's got really good bags and all that good shit on it.
That's on its best day because we were talking about
Yeah.
this with because this scratches the itch for the Shadow and everything else.
Yeah.
On their best day, Shadow 750 still only ever brought $2,500.
Exactly. A carbureted Shadow 750 is a $2,500 bike.
Yeah.
Period. That is
And that
it.
now
Yeah.
pushes. I mean, because this
Yeah.
bike as is pushes everything down.
It sure does.
And we're now dealing because this is a
Right.
20-year-old bike.
Right. It's
We're now
20-year-old
dealing
machine.
with 20-year-old
Right.
nice bikes
Yeah.
that are worth more than 10 issues.
And I don't know how long. Suzuki might still be selling this bike for all I know. Suzuki's world famous for selling a DRZ 400 and a DR 650 for 60 years, right? And not changing them, still has carburetors. So this bike may very well be still part of the Suzuki active bike lineup at your local Suzuki dealer for all I fucking know.
I mean, it literally looks current. Like,
That's what
there's
I'm
nothing
saying.
about it that's like, you're
Right.
like, oh, that's from
Well,
fucking 2000.
it's really tough when you look at that and be like, that's a 20-year-old bike.
Let's be perfectly
Yeah.
honest. Styles haven't changed in 30 years anyway.
Right, right. And,
I mean,
and
but
that's
it's kinda
Would you rather have
classically
that
done.
or a Rebel 500?
oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this all fucking
Oh,
day
fuck
long.
yeah.
Because that's an 800 liquid cooled engine. It's
Yep.
a much, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
The only thing is that they welded a barbecue grill to the front of it. Like if they do, like,
but that's a radiator
That's-
full of
you know what?
liquid cooling.
You know what?
I'd
I'd rather
rather
have a-
rounded the edge.
I'd
Like,
rather
maybe
have a barbecue.
you know.
That's an
grill 'cause I can make
883
chicken.
that with more horsepower that'll spin to 10 grand.
Right.
Dude, I love the bike. I'm not dogging it.
You don't
I'm
have
just
to sell
saying,
him it.
They could have fucking rounded the edge.
Hey,
And
you
if
know what?
somebody
Bet
would own
Kuryakin
it,
sells
they
the
would
thing for
probably do
that.
Yeah, you need a little chin
Just
spoiler.
put a tombstone shaped thing
Yeah,
there,
there you
and
go,
they're
yeah.
fine.
Couple
That's
skulls,
what it
couple
is.
flames.
Yeah, good call.
They already painted it black. What else do you want them to do?
There's chrome covers. There's all kinds of bullshit.
Ghost
you can
flames.
do to that.
Definitely lacking eagles.
So far I'm in the progression of Suzuki motorcycles. I can tell you for a fact they did sell this cocksucker in 2023.
No
Wow.
way.
So I'm going to 2024. Yes, they still sold it in 2024. Let's pull one up. They were $9,199. You guys, this, my friends,
That
right
seems
there.
like a fucking bargain.
Oh my lord!
I mean, if for a new bike, I would
nah,
not
I
pay
don't
that
know
much.
about that.
I mean, like a couple.
Not
grand.
for a motor. Like, I mean, it's like 15 years, 20 years old, the concept.
Yeah.
My Tugger was the same money.
I wonder how different that motor actually is than mine. I bet, you know what I mean? Like, how that much has it actually changed?
Well, here's what I can tell you is the 2024 don't look no different. Go ahead and pull it up, Sleepy.
Yeah.
Here's the 2024. There's the 2024.
Oh.
They've definitely gone more traditional with it. They got rid of the swoopy back fenders.
Oh, yeah.
When you were talking about that before, it hasn't changed. I was gonna say no. They went to the full.
They
Yeah.
went to the full.
Yours looks better.
They literally made it into a
They
V-Star.
went trad
So
wife
they
on
did.
it.
They went trad. They went
I
trad
hate
wife.
on it.
Look at the
They went trad wife on
Look
it.
at the struts on the strut supports on that. The fender. Oh my god.
They still have that. Look at that
They're
one.
like, oh, that flippy stuff was a little too, you know.
So if you look at the old one and you compare it to the new one, there's the new one.
It's got
the-
spokes.
There's the old one.
But,
Wait,
but
did they-
black and chrome is so much
Did,
better.
did
than
they do
red.
anything for the radiator?
Oh, they literally. You know what I can tell you they gained is they gained 2 inner tubes
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
because the one part outside has got tubeless on it.
Oh, good. You can upgrade it to
Right.
spoke
Oh,
tires.
I like this bike, man.
I like it better as a Marauder than I do as a whatever they call that.
Slapster.
The Ace edition.
That's the malt shop.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely do actually. As much as I hate the flip tail.
Oh, the front fender is much
I don't
nicer
hate
on
the
that.
flip tail.
You don't
I
hate the flip
me
tail?
neither,
No.
man.
Oh man.
It's almost getting me to the fucking boat tail vibes of the Harley.
I was gonna say it gives me like a V ride.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
flip tail, man. That flip tail is.
It adds a little swoosh. I like it.
Yeah. Well, what
I
don't
like it better than that other fender.
What I don't like about flip tails is because the flip tail goes up in the back, like, ooh, look, it's sporty. But then there's a sub fender underneath it that basically fills up the same spot. So that's always been my problem with the flip tail.
Look how big that thing is. That back fender on there sucks.
Yeah, well, yeah. So yeah, if we're going back and forth between the brand new modern one and the 20-year-old one, the 20-year-old one is better. Oh, by the way, the 20-year-old one also has upside down fucking forks, I should add, whereas the new one's got traditional forks in it.
Well,
traditional
it's now the C50.
The trad. They went trad.
Oh, they went trad. They went trad.
That rear fender is actually a bumper. It can take about a 10-mile-an-hour hit without damaging the rest of it.
Nice. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
Well, that's not the C50.
oh my.
I'm going to see if there's a M50, right? Right. Because you're right. There's a difference between an M50 and a C50, right? The C50 is, yeah, so the search comes up as, they still do we'll find out what the last year was that they did the M for Marauder. And I'm absolutely convinced.
Because that's when they changed.
got rid of
Because
it.
the Marauder was the flip up tail. The Boulevard is the sloopy tail.
That's right.
Dude, nobody at Suzuki has ever played the anal game.
No, they clearly have not. No, they did not.
they have, but it's only at special bars in Tokyo at night.
2022.
Okay.
So the Marauder M50 was 2022 was the last year of manufacturing for it.
They do
And,
the Savage, the anal Savage.
the Anal Savage.
The Anal
we
Marauder.
talked about this years ago, where Suzuki wins as far as because Honda had the Anal Interceptor, which is a bold move, right? The Anal Interceptor is a bold move.
Yeah. That took some balls.
Anal Africa Twins.
Eh.
That's a good night in Morocco. Yeah. You spent your money well. right? If you got anal Africa twins, that's pretty good.
could
Anal
argue-
Transalp can go in a lot
An
of
anal
different
Pacific
directions.
Coast could be anywhere north of L.A.
Yeah.
Right, that's it.
With Morini, I could argue an anal escape would be.
An anal escape.
You might need
right.
to do that sometime.
So let's look at the picture of the very last production M50.
Oh.
So now we can compare the last production M50. There's the last production
So they-
M50.
It looks like the
They
M109.
greased it. They
It sure
greased
does.
the tail down.
Yeah, they literally took the tail away
Yeah.
and they made it into that flat line thing that Harley and Honda and everybody else did. So they got rid of the flip and they went to the flat straight
That's not
line.
terrible either, man.
It's not terrible.
Right.
It's not
I'd
terrible.
argue that's a bit better than what it is now.
And that's the question is that better than what it is now?
I mean, that's like a couple of eBay trips later, and you fucking got a brand new one.
Yeah.
I'm going door number 3.
Are you going
This one.
You want this one? You want the new one?
the modern style.
So you want the newer M50
Yeah.
with the full headlight nacelle
Yeah, but is it worth-
and the bum stop.
Is it worth $6,000 more?
No,
Oh,
I'm just
God.
I'm based on styling
Right.
alone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you
I'm
that.
still voting
I'll
for
take the
retail.
cheapest one, please.
You know,
Right, that's exactly right. I will take the cheapest one. Yeah.
I just found out another sad issue while looking at all this over trying to find
Yeah.
out the M50 and the C50 and everything
Yeah.
else. They made the Savage until 2020.
The 650?
The 650 LS.
The LS? They made the LS 650
till
till
2020.
2020?
Which takes me back to your thing about the Harley
That
stores.
is so sad.
So
Dude,
86 to 2020.
Oh my fucking
I mean, if I'm riding a metric cruiser, the styling
That's
is
like 34 years.
forget it. You know what I mean? I don't even care what the styling of a metric cruiser is. That's
Yeah.
not why I would be
That's
riding
not
it.
why you're riding it.
I'd be riding it because it's cheap, it's
Right.
reliable, it's probably better performance than
Except-
the Harley, and
My point was,
And you
that
have no
every
self-respect.
dude on a
Right.
Savage
I
I've ever
wouldn't even
seen in front of a bar is wearing Harley Davidson fucking
Yes.
leathers.
Well, that's always the
on
problem.
everything.
Like, and my thing is just for the past like 30 years of my life, if I'm going to be owning a cruiser, it's going to be a Harley Davidson. So, like, if I'm going to be experiencing the cruiser experience, the cruiser I'm going to be on is probably going to be a Harley Davidson. Exceptions would be like the Drifter, because I think the Drifter has its own thing. I think the Drifter has its own identity, and that being Indian is dead. We will bring back our better version of it, and fuck Harley Davidson. Like, we don't care if Harley Davidson. When Kawasaki built the Drifter, whether it's the 1500 or the 800, they didn't do it while looking at a picture of a Harley Davidson. They did it while looking at a picture of a motorcycle that didn't exist anymore.
well, that's a good point that you make. I mean, the Intruder went on to become an 1100, and then later a 1400.
Yeah.
So a 1400 Intruder or a Marauder, or,
Yeah.
or the M109.
The M109.
The M109 is badass
I
bike.
feel like they missed a naming nomenclature. You have the Drifter and the Nomad.
Right.
Where the hell's the Hobo?
Oh, there should have been the Hobo. There should have been the Hobo. There should have been the Angry Recluse.
Exactly.
Right. There should have been the
old man that lives at the end of the
the shifty recluse.
The Hermit.
Right. We have the new Kawasaki Hermit. Yes. Yeah. Right. We have the new Kawasaki. We have the Drifter and we have the shifty Drifter.
Your top case is a bindle stick.
It is totally a bindle stick. You got one big bindle stick on each side. That's perfect.
A guy at work had the M109
Oh.
with pipes on it.
Oh, yeah.
Vicious.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! Downtown when he fired up to go home, it was like Jesus Christ, Paul.
Purely designed to destroy tires.
You had a
And every time he took off, it was just full like.
Yeah. He probably
Did he turn the LED lights on before or after he started the bike?
No, you're good.
Oh, so, I mean, I have had several of those come through the shop, and every single one I've had come through the shop
Has
was
clutch
like,
problems.
I need a clutch. When they pull in, they're like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. It just doesn't leave the light the way it used to. It's got 5,000 miles on it.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, you don't have a clutch. I'll put a clutch in it for you.
260 tires and burnouts will do that every time.
Barnett Springs, spend all the money. And I love those bikes because they were good money earners at our Menor store. Because Menor is full of those guys. And they all have the exact same Shelby fucking Cobra paint scheme.
Yeah,
It's either
the
blue with
and
white stripes or
stripes.
white with blue stripes.
Yeah.
I'll see. New Orleans is all like white with chrome flames and skulls
Yeah.
and dragons and bullshit.
Did a bit of a different group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a question come in about doing the 24 hours of Buddy or whatever, like any of the
Okay,
racing
yeah.
stuff we were talking
Right.
about. But so we just got an update because Pete, you went and took pictures that you saw the kart track.
Yeah, I was
and
there today.
It's not quite open.
It's
No.
not serviceable.
The track itself looks like it was
The
there.
track was mostly done,
Yeah.
and they may have run some things on it
Yeah.
for. I don't think it was a full-on event.
No, I can definitely say the pictures I saw were like, okay, make sure the bikes can come this way, or the carts can
Yep.
come this way for the photo shot. But if they would have kept going, they would have crashed into dirt.
Even if the track was complete, I couldn't get all the way up to look over the whole track. But what I could see from the accessible areas was the track surface itself is down, and they have all those red and white barricades up. But there's no parking lot, there's no grandstands, there's no scoring tower, none of that's there. It's all under construction.
So we think they're at least a year away.
yes,
Okay,
I would
that's
say.
what I think
Yep,
too.
yep.
That was my estimation
But like
when
a
I
year
looked
as
at
in
it.
like next season, right?
I
Like,
would say that if they work their balls off winter, they might get it done. But I'd be more inclined to say they're probably not. I mean, unless they spend a lot of money real quick, they might not be
Well, I
racing
think
in April.
they have to.
And there's a
though.
really large building out there that looks like it's going to be the indoor facility.
That's the indoor.
Again, not even
Yeah.
a shell
No.
completed yet.
Yeah, I looked at it a month ago, and that place was barely sticks.
Can we
I mean,
sneak onto the track?
Oh, you know what? I was there at the Honda Fit, and I said, I think I could get right out there on the Fit. Isn't that awesome?
couple of short hot laps?
Yep.
Yep.
I think I could have been a full hot lap and been out of there.
And been out?
And
Quicker
before,
than
like-
anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. That's pretty cool. That's all right.
And
Because at first they'd be like, "Is that a that's a Honda Fit?" Huh?
It's one of our security.
Well,
it's our pace car.
That's a Honda
Let's
Fit.
just see
and
how
he's,
he
you know,
does.
and he's really getting it.
if
yeah.
you put a yellow
We
flash,
got time. We got about 3 minutes before
put a
we
yellow
get to the
flashing
end.
light on top of that, I bet you get away with it.
So we got just for the hate mail and stuff like that that's
Oh.
coming in. So first of all, Jacob Isley is in, and you can do this. You can be at the $1 level, and he's at the $1 level. So that is pretty rad. We have Matthew Teffel. He is at the $10 level, so he does get the punchlines.
Yes.
So put him down for the punchlines.
Only
Should we
the,
do a breaking news for him?
only takes tips.
Oh, well, what's funny, though, is he's also discovered the podcast chat at the same time, and he has just written us gold. I'm going to have to get in character. Just wanted to say howdy to my favorite podcasters. Now, about that term, podcaster. A guy in his mom's mechanic's basement with a bike, a Hot Pocket, craft services, a beer, and an opinion. But that's just how it got started. I'm a big Mark Maron WTF fan, and I was an avid Joe Rogan listener, but someone has gotten to him and he's become unlistenable. Since news radio, and everything has become agenda-driven, I'm thrilled to have something to listen to while I'm driving for a living. I'm in the truck about 7 hours a day, and I'm pretty sure your only agenda is that Tom doesn't like Harleys, and that Chris doesn't like Tom.
I'm coming around.
Cybertruck's arresting.
Cybertruck's arresting.
That line right there is gold right there, by the way.
Yes, that is going on a T-shirt, by the way.
That is gold. You guys actually seem to care about being factually accurate, and I love that you fact-check yourself in real time. Having listened to all 518 episodes, including the special events, and digested the entire Misfits and NoCo catalog, I'm working on MotoHop, and I'm always looking for something new.
Hell yeah.
If you haven't, you should give Brap Talk a listen. Not as funny or as prolific as you guys, but a good listen. I'm pretty sure I listened to 4 different podcasts by people who all started by listening to Cleveland Moto. Yeah, we are old. We've been around for a long time. Damn. Anyway, I thought you'd find this funny. You don't have to read it if it's too political. And I give him credit for saying that, because that's a lot, because we don't swing political. This is, and I'm going to read it because it's not actually that political. He says, breaking news. The FBI, run by 2 podcasters, is actively investigating the murder of a 3rd podcaster, while the vice president cosplays as a 4th podcaster to host the show run by the RIP 3rd podcaster. The USA, brought to you by Squarespace, BetterHelp, Manscaped, and ExpressVPN.
Yeah. Fucking amazing.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Yeah.
I think that, my friends, is a brilliant fucking letter. Hats off to you, Max. Appreciate the hell out of it. That is some damn good writing. Absolutely very fucking cool.
And we'll have MotoHop on the quote sticker there too.
Yeah, right. That is absolutely true. And again, if you weren't listening carefully,
They've been ordered already.
right? Yes, I'm pretty sure your only agenda is that Tom doesn't like Harleys and Chris doesn't like Tom.
Yeah.
Genius. And by the way, Chris isn't here to defend
Chris
himself.
isn't here.
So that even makes it funnier.
I don't see him getting mad about
I
it.
think it's just funny. I just think it's hilarious. Yeah, I think Chris has patience for a lot of us,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but not so much for Tom.
Well, he is sliding into the crotchety old man role pretty hard a little
Well,
bit. So
that's fine.
That's
No,
just,
and it's not
know.
even right, and I get it. Right, and that's and definitely, and Tom does pull his weight in the, well,
And you see, hey,
Like
do
I
you
said,
see
I've been
who's
coming
not
around.
crotchety as we get older? People that fucking imbibe in the cannabis, man.
well,
They're
that's true
never
too.
crotchety
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
That is true. I definitely dig that. So anyway, I thought that was pretty fucking brilliant. So yeah, thanks guys, man. It really makes me feel good that you guys take the time to write such cool letters and send them to us. And,
And they're
that-
usually
that you're
not-
fucking hilarious
They're
too. By the
non-typical
way,
hate mail, yeah.
and it does pay off. It absolutely pays off when we get people in the chat that are as fucking cool as they are. It does when you guys chime in. It's funny. It's
Well,
funny as fuck.
how much fun
Yeah.
for us. You do something for so long, and it's like so many topics are like, we've been like, I think we've already done that. But somebody asks a question
Yeah.
live right there.
Yeah.
It completely derails the podcast, but then like the information that's usually shared is fucking amazing.
Oh, and the fun thing too is because now we've locked down the chat. So the ClevelandMoto podcast chat, the Facebook group, is by approval only. So Christopher Scott Griswold,
Yeah.
you're here. We see you. And Rob Ahern, we see you too. You are there.
Your anonymity is safe with us.
You are anonymous. Check.
And Big Dick 420.
Yeah, right.
We
yeah,
get
right,
you.
Right, yeah, right.
This is like Romper Room.
Not so sleepy 69. Yeah, Miss Sally's going to bring out the magic mirror. Right.
Miss Barbara's looking out there.
Yeah,
I
right.
see
And
Tim,
I see
John.
Petey, and I see Johnny, and I see Sleepy. Yeah. We had 204 members in the private chat. Like in that, that's pretty
And
cool.
if-
That's
yeah,
great.
and
I love when we get people that are like, oh, I did not realize too they were stacking up of like pending posts, like shit I had to approve. And I was like, oh fuck, I got to do a thing. So that's it. So yeah, just letting you know. And our ratio, the only thing that's been identified as spam so far was this guy Esteban Cincinnati.
Cinchierito? Yeah, definitely
Esteban
spam.
Cinchierito got me something about some motorcycle race podcast Arma thing. Oh yeah, that was you. I don't know why it legitimately put you down as potentially spammy. It won't anymore.
Did you see the Jet and Cat?
Yes, I saw the Jet and Cat, but before we get to the Jet and Cat, I did want to bring up this one picture because one of our people, and I'm going to say that carefully, our people is our friend John Nadrotowski, father of Carter, a great human being by any standard, an amazing guy. He said, you guys need to get on the Shanky's payroll since you convinced me to give it a try. Shanky's whip has a wearable bow tie with an adjustable strap. And I'm going to say there aren't too many things that are strap-on that I'll get in front of. But this is one I'll get behind. I love a Shanky's whip wearable bow tie.
You know, Chris Smith probably has 17 of those by now.
How is that a thing?
Uncle Shanky, take us to the country here. Come
Look
on.
at that, Uncle Shanky's wearable bow tie, Shanky's whip. That's some cool shit right there. That's going to be the hot item.
So wait, our bottles never came with that. See, at least I can
Sleepy's
get
got all,
something out of it.
Smith's got all of them. He's been buying these bottles and
that's
putting the
why
bow
Just
ties
pulling
in
the
his
bow ties
pocket.
off.
Yeah, that's
He's going to
what's
show up one
going
night.
on.
He's going to be wearing all the bow ties. Like it's gonna
Shanky's
be a
whip. I
shirt.
wonder if the little tiny bottles had little tiny bow ties on you could put on your Tanuki. Adorable. Yeah, that'd be fucking adorable, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Anybody got anything else?
No.
It's been a fun podcast.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys came out.
Yeah, man.
John, no prepared jokes.
It's so much better when y'all show up. Yeah, I approve of that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we don't have jokes. I mean, it's fine. We you know what? It's better that we don't waste them. We want to make sure that when Chris is here, we give him his full splendor.
Wait, we can give him 7 jokes. Everybody look in the camera.
Yeah, that's 7 jokes. My Lord. All right, that's it, my
Bum.
friends. If you've had fun tonight, tell your friends. It's Cleveland Moto.
If you haven't had fun,
If you haven't had fun,
tell them it's the Misfits.
We've been the Motorcycles and Misfits.
I don't-
Ride
I
fast.
don't know what the hell's happening.
Take chances. Play us out here, Johnny.
Bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum, 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 ba, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum,
Okay, hit the red button. Eject. Get us out of here, Sleepy. Gas.
You just hit random.